Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Friday Coffee Klatsch. My name is Danny. I'm a little bit on the back foot today because I was a little bit tired. Um, as you know, as I've mentioned before, I have a bit of a chronic illness, and so I had a few less spoons today. If you know, you know. But we're going to get things started. This is the Friday Coffee Klatsch. My name is Danny. My daughter Artemis is out walking her dog. Um, but hopefully I can get her to join while I go get some food. I've got iced coffee today because it's kind of hot here in my part of NC. This is the vlog video podcast. I hate to say podcast if you're not on an iPod, but anyway, where we talk about life, yarn, and everything else in that order. We're here to keep you company while you clean your house, fold your laundry. You know, we're like the mukbang without the food. I think Maya might be in her house now. Let's see.
Hello. I
Oh,
was over here making faces. I got so many quips. First of all, how do you have a little bit of a chronic illness? Just a little bit of one. You either have one or you don't. Second of all, who listens to iPods anymore? They are extinct. Why were you not bringing me into the chat?
I have just a touch, just a taste, just a
Just a sprinkle.
just a soupçon of multiple sclerosis, just a soupçon.
Just a dab. Just a little smidge.
Just enough to be annoying, but not enough for you to see from the outside. Which is why it's
Ridiculous.
embarrassing the few times your father tries to put me in one of those carts at Walmart. You know the ones,
We
the
know the ones.
motorized. It would be fine if I was skinny, but to be fat and look less and look like you're not, you know what I'm saying.
Yes, I know what you're saying. I'm just grabbing my laptop charger, but I am here and ready to go.
You
And I will
weren't
switch to my
ready.
laptop momentarily.
I should have just left you out and kept talking. You're not ready.
I am on my phone and we are talking on the live stream. Therefore, I am ready.
So you say. So you say.
And I
And
was on my phone
Ronald
at
is here with
2:30.
us. He is off today.
Ooh, let me go to the
He
chat.
says, "How are y'all?" Well, as I
What's up,
said,
Ronald?
I am starting on the back foot, as the old folks say. Little bit tired. I took a longer nap than usual, and so I woke up right before we needed to get started.
Yeah, I woke up super late because I got off work super late, living
I
that
keep I
third
keep
shift
saying
life.
I'm going to work before we do this live stream, and very seldom do I do such a thing. So now it's either work after we get done or work tomorrow. And working on Saturday is not my favorite thing. I decided a while back because when I first started this job, you know, you know my boss.
Mm-hmm.
She works all the hours God allows because there's nobody to because we both work from home. We all work from home. So
Mm-hmm.
she only has herself to regulate herself. And she is on salary, unlike me. I'm hourly. So the salary I think makes her feel guilty because she just
It feels
works
like she needs
all
to
the
work more. Yeah.
she works all the hours. All the hours. And she'll be up at the crack of dawn, and I am not that gal. And but I at first I was trying. I was so thankful for them bringing me on and giving me the option to work from home without having to be on the telephone all the time. That I need to turn my fan around.
Yeah, I'm turning
That
my ceiling fan on.
that I Well, the ceiling fan in your room here stopped working a long time ago. But yes, this is still your room. I know you're 30 and you don't live here anymore. This is still your room.
Oh, in my head, it's always going to be my room. My room will be no one else's. If my life comes crumbling down and I need to move back in, you better find somewhere else to do your little work from home.
Oh no. If your life comes crumbling down, I'm moving you into the twins' room because you got
No,
animals.
but their room is.
You got animals
Oh,
and a man person. You
you
got
want them animals running upstairs?
you've got an ogre that lives with you. You and the ogre cannot fit in this room.
I mean, that room is about the same size as our bedroom here in the apartment.
Well, see, well then I would be giving you guys a come up if you take the
No.
twins' room.
Yeah, he will die of a heat stroke. Absolutely, he will pass away.
He will not.
He will.
Okay, so is that enough life talk or do we have a little more life talk?
I am. Did I put anything in the live talk? I'm switching over to
You
my laptop at the
you
moment.
did not. You did
Ooh, I
not.
have something that literally just happened last night that I could talk about real quick.
I
I
am
just
resisting. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm resisting the urge to grab my fan because I can hear Ronald saying wind tunnel. And
it's toasty
hopefully
today. What is the temperature
it
over there today?
is toasty. Let me see what iOS wants to tell me.
Yeah,
Let's
it's 78
see.
over here.
Okay, according to
So it's
iOS,
probably
it
warmer
is
over there.
yes, it is 79 here. According to iOS, it is 73 in Asheville and raining. And it
Well,
is it is 80 in Greensboro.
yeah, I am just outside of Asheville, so it's 78 over here, and it's not raining yet, but it looks like it's been looking like it was gonna rain for like 2 days. Um,
So
okay,
you probably
I
gonna get some
am
some rain near you. It says Asheville's got rain for the next hour.
okay, so it must be moving this way. Riff for like 2 seconds while I switch to the laptop.
Okay. All right. Okay. What shall old lady Danny riff about? Okay. All right. I can riff about this thing that she doesn't really want to talk about in the life update section, which is that, let's see. Oh, Ronald's got his windows open and it's beautiful here. I would like to open my window, to be honest, but I have a giant printer right in front of my window. And so it would, because I have my office desk, because I used to have my desk on the wall that's over here and then there's a door over there. And that's where my desk used to be because I used to do phone work from home. And so I needed to be able to get the phone cord, you know, and to the our router used to be in another room. And so I had to be on that wall near the door. Um but when I changed jobs, I decided I am tired of staring at that yellow wall over there and I want to see some sunshine. So I moved my desk over to this wall over here and there's a window right over here. And so now I get light, as you can see, because I look all pretty. So I get light, but I the way I position things, because I share this office, you may hear we make jokes about being in the closet because two walls of this room, this is a perfectly square room, two walls are closed. My husband's work uniforms and stuff, we've got rails of clothes over here. We've got laundry baskets over here because our washing machine is right outside the door at the top of the stairs. It's a weird configuration. So I get this wall and this wall over here that the pictures are on. So I've got my printer sitting right in front of the window. I still get plenty of light. It's just crazy to have to reach through there and open the window. So I never open the window. Thank you for complimenting my hair. This is freshly washed hair, and I have a lot of product in it. Um, I was just thinking, it's a little crazy, but I was just thinking that it's a shame because was a child of the 70s and the 80s where they would relax your hair within an inch of your life. And if we had had products back then that you could just put in your hair and then the natural kinkiness would look so nice, all the curls. And then this is my white girl hair back here. My mother is biracial, and the only thing I got from her is that about this much of my hair in the back is the texture of a white girl's hair. It's not the slightly rough. All the rest of this is the slightly rough black girl hair, but I have about 2 inches back here at the nape of my neck that is curly white girl hair, curly and smooth, if that makes any sense. And so it can be difficult sometimes to style my hair because this stuff in the back just does not want to behave. Of all things, they say that that black girl's hair is nappy, but it's this white girl hair in the back that just does not want to behave. But thank you very much. I have been going through a phase right now where I feel like I want to um, pull a Britney and just shave all my hair off because it's just, uh, I do not know what is going on with her. She
I was up here
seems to have
waiting for
come
you to bring
back
me in.
in, but I don't know what is going on with
You,
her.
what do you mean you don't know what's going on? Can you not hear me?
And she has not messaged me. Let's see what she's got. Of course, we're going to have technical
Can
difficulties.
you not hear me?
Okay. She
Ronald, can you hear me?
supposedly has returned, but I don't see her.
Can no one hear and see me? Ronald, can you see me? Can you hear me? What is going on?
Maybe I'm just talking to myself. Maybe I have been talking to myself this whole time. Oh, you do hear me. Okay, good. Good, good, good. Good.
Yeah, Ronald said he could hear both of us.
Art. Okay, are you talking to her? Ronald, do you actually hear Maya and it's just me that's not hearing her? Oh, great. I'm talking to myself. Thanks. Thanks. Yeah, that makes me feel real good.
I'm trying to tell her. I'm sending her a message right now,
Okay.
telling her to leave and come back.
So so
For
I so
anyone who
I'm
can't
the
hear
only one
us,
who can't see her. Well, maybe if I remove her and try to add her back again. Okay.
hello.
Let's see.
She still can't hear or see me.
Okay. So
Don't know what's going on. I
this is
told
just
her to
going
leave and come
so
back. We'll see what
well. Well, maybe
happens.
I'll remove myself and see if that works. Okay.
Like I said in the message, this is going to be hilarious for people watching back later. Hello, world. I am using my crappy little built in camera on my laptop today because I think
Nope.
our USB camera has just given out.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
You still can't see and hear me?
Okay. I'm going to try something radical and totally leave. So let's see if this works. Meanwhile, you talk to
Radical.
Ronald because
Okay.
we're going to put this video up no matter what. So you talk to Ronald for a second.
This is going to be hilarious. Um, so let's see. Do I have anything to talk about that I have already told her? Well, I've got some, we're going to see later. I've got some crochet projects that I'm going to bring out because I've got a market coming up. Yeah, she is having some issues. Which is something that happens to us frequently. I'm surprised this is the first time this has happened on live stream because we do on Sunday evenings we do Sunday game night with the family, and so me, my brothers and sisters, and my mom, we all like get on Board Game Arena and we play board games and stuff. And we'll do like we'll have Board Game Arena in one tab essentially, and then we'll have like usually a Facebook call, sometimes like a Discord call or a Google call or whatever on the side. But like 75% of the time, or 75% of the time, she will like, she either won't be able to hear somebody, or her internet will just cut out and like get rid of her, and so she'll have to come back in, or she'll have to wait for the internet to come back in, or like we won't be able to hear her, it'll just randomly mute her for some reason. But she always says that it's me, and she always says that I am the internet, I am the computer jinx, and I'm the one that has all of the issues. But she also has so many issues and refuses to admit it. Like, we've got good internet here because we've got 3 gamers in the house. I'm more of a cozy gamer. I don't really need like internet for my games because playing online with people stresses me out, because I'm so afraid I'm gonna like get into like a group with somebody playing a game or something, and I'm gonna play so badly, and then they're gonna like defame me across all of the internet or something. I don't know what the fear is, but yeah. So I don't play online with people, so I just play by myself. But we have 3 other gamers here in the house who play online games, and they play like Call of Duty and Destiny and Fortnite occasionally. Those are the only games I can think of because I don't play them. But so we've got that good internet. We pay for that good internet, and we have the same internet company. Me and my mother have the same internet company, but my internet does not cut out. Hers does, and it may just be where she is. But I am also like up in the mountains.
Don't trust whatever you hear or
That's my
see.
phone
You
call.
receive the call
Ooh.
from the scam.
I can't answer this phone call right now. Also, my ringtone scares me every single time because it's if anyone who's watched Dungeons and Daddies, which is it's a Dungeons and Dragons podcast, but they play like, you don't have to worry too much about like knowing the rules of the game, because one, they play a little fast and loose with the rules. Sometimes they very much do like rule of cool. It's more of like improv with a D&D kind of base going on. But it's a really fun podcast. They're in season 2 right now, but the first season, which is where you should start. Oh my goodness, sir! I am in the middle of a live stream. It is my husband. If my mom was here, I would answer, but she is not here at the moment, so I cannot answer the phone. I wonder what is going on with her. I still cannot see her. And I can't control this because this is not my live stream. She's the one that handles all of the like StreamYard and all that stuff. So I'm like, here, if I leave, then it's over. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm going to send her a text message and see what's going on with her, because this is utter chaos. Oh my goodness. And my husband is still calling. I think he forgot that I do a live stream right now. Hopefully I don't have to like leave to pick him up or something. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Repeated calls. Live streaming. Exclamation point, exclamation point. What is going on? Let's see. Yeah, I am apparently alone. I'm glad that you're still here, Ronald. I was like, oh no, has Ronald left too? Is it really just me out here talking to the ether? Well, we will get an update on what's going on with my husband. In other news, I've started posting on Instagram again, which I don't know why it was stressing me out. The thought of posting it to social media stresses me out because I don't want to have to try to post every single day. And then I remembered, just like out of the blue, I don't know how I forgot, but I remembered that I still have access to later, which lets me schedule my post. Is she back? Can she hear me? Can she see me? Hello, world.
Keep talking.
Can we keep talking? Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes, I can hear you and see you. You're in the middle of talking. This is bad video. Keep talking.
A bad video is me being here rambling for who knows how long. Ronald says he's listening carefully. Okay, yeah. What was I saying? Oh, the thing that stresses me out about posting to Instagram is the idea of having to post every day, because I can't do anything daily. Like, I try my best. I have a hard enough time taking my medicine that stops me from going blind and having migraines daily.
Preach.
And so doing anything daily is an issue. And so what Later does, which anyone who wants to do a social media thing, use Later, please, because it is so useful. It lets you post to multiple social medias at once for no, you have to pay for it, but I think it's only like $3 a month or so. It's something like very minuscule. But so I can sit on like Sunday or Monday and schedule my posts for the next like week or whatever. Like I could schedule my posts for the whole month if I had enough pictures for it, but I can schedule like several posts out, and that way, and it'll post, you can set it to either send you a reminder, and if it sends you a reminder, then you just open up Instagram, your pictures will be right there from Later, you click the pictures that you had, and then it'll automatically put the caption that you wrote in your clipboard, and then you paste it, it'll like copy it for you, and then you paste it into the thing, and then you just post. Or you can have it post automatically, and then you don't even have to worry, which is what I do. I set it to post automatically. I'm like, what I wrote, I'm not messing with anything. And I set it to post automatically. And I'll set it to post automatically in the morning because I don't wake up until like 2 or 3 in the evening. Like waking up for this live stream is early for me. I would usually be waking up like an hour from now.
So it's all my fault.
Well, I was the one who was okay with 2 p.m.
It's all my fault. Keeping you from getting your sleep. Blame it all on your mother.
Pretty much. I'm blaming you and Ronald right now. Since you're the only ones here, I'm blaming you and Ronald right now.
Okay.
But I'm okay. I've got a little coffee beside me. Okay, that's what for everyone keeping track of the story that's going on right now, my husband was calling me 37 times to let me know that he's closing early. So I got to go pick him up early. Not super early. They're closing at 6.
So did you already talk about the BIPOC market from last week?
No, I haven't. I was going to wait for you to come in so I could talk about it.
Okay.
It was pretty good, actually. I was very stressed when I got there, when I was getting there, because I didn't know, like, I'd never met the people that were setting it up. I didn't know who were going to be there because I live all the way in Marseille, and I live in, like, I don't have any Black friends up here, really. Like, I have, like, acquaintances that I've met at different markets and stuff, but, like, I don't, and usually, like, 90% of the time when I go to a market, I am the only Black person at the market. So I'm like, who is going to be here? Who are these people? What's the attitude going to be like? And I don't know if you remember, but, like, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I had gone to a market, and it was when I was first kind of starting markets, and I had gone to a market, and I was like, I had called you because I was kind of keeping to myself, and there was another, like, Black lady who was at the market who was, like, across the way, and I didn't introduce myself to her. And then later at the end of the market when we were closing, she came and got up in my face and like berated me, and it made me start crying. I was so stressed. Do you remember me calling you about that?
Yes, I remember that. Even before you started talking about it, I remember that incident. For those watching, and Ronald, our best buddy, we are Black people who are 2 seconds from having our Black cards taken away. Let's put it that way. We don't, because my mother was biracial, and so she was like the only Black child in her family. I'm giving too much information, but
Today is just learning your backstory. Go ahead, let's get some lore.
we don't need any more of my lore. But basically, me being the oldest of the 6 kids, all of your aunties and uncles managed to embrace more of their Blackness and find all the Black people in school and stuff. My interests have always fallen on what is stereotypically the white side of things. And so all of my friends have been white. My best friend, my ride or die, is white. I just don't have that Black culture thing in me. So even though I have married a man who is the blackest of the blackety black, as as far as the culture is concerned, I don't have any of that, and I seem to have passed most of my barely Blackness to my children.
Well, that's also like
So
it's
so they don't have all of those cues like, oh, you should introduce yourself to the Black people. If you're the only 2 Black people in the market, y'all should kind of at least introduce yourselves and kind of back each other up or whatever.
And I was already, first of all, she was an older woman. She seemed like she was established and knew what she was doing. And I, like, this was my first time at that market. I had never been there. I only knew like two other people, and those were the two people on either side of me. And so
Mm-hmm.
I was stressed enough about being at this market and making sure that I like knew what I was doing and everything. And at the end of the market, like I was trying to like reach out now that I was a bit more comfortable and the market was over. I was trying to reach out and I just said like, have a good evening. Or I think there was like a holiday coming up, like enjoy your Easter or something. And she like got in my face and like fully like berated me for not introducing myself to her and said like, we gotta stick together and blah, blah, blah. And I like broke down crying. And so all that is to say, when I was going to this market, I was very stressed out because I didn't know, one, if I was going to run into that lady again. I've never seen that lady again. I don't know why I'm still thinking about that, but I didn't know if I was going to run into that lady again, and I didn't know if the other people at this market were going to be like that or how they were going to act. Or plus, you like, for anybody who's seen my market setup and how I dress and everything for market, I go like full fae. I've got my elf ears. I usually have like some sort of fairy crown painted on my forehead and wear like very flowy clothes and stuff. And so I didn't know, like, I have a lot of Black friends online.
Which I'm fine with, but your blackety black father looks at you and goes, I don't understand. I don't
And
understand.
all I say is you don't have to understand as long as it's okay. but like I've got a lot of Black friends online who like are cool with that and understand that, because I like on TikTok and stuff, I've got a lot of Black friends who are into like cosplay and D&D and yada yada, but like IRL finding those blurs in spaces is not always the easiest thing to do. And so I usually stand out. And so I was like, how is this going to be receptive? But when I got there, it was super chill. Like I found the person who was in charge of setting it up, and they, not sure their pronouns, so I'm going to stick with they were super chill. They were like, yeah, just find wherever you want to set up. It was very, laissez-faire, is that the word? Blase, I think is the word I'm thinking of. It was very super chill.
I would use laissez-faire, but go ahead.
Laissez-faire. I was like, it's one of these French words. I just can't remember which one.
Y'all know the French more than I. Why am I saying anything?
Because I can't think of how the word is used culturally in English. But yeah, so it was super laissez-faire. Like she was like, set up wherever. People, like, I'm used to, I think what has helped me is my home market, my home farmers market that is right down the street from me. The person who runs that market, or who is basically in charge of setting up that market, is super strict. So she will go in and mark with chalk on the concrete where your tent is supposed to be, and you're not supposed to be outside of those lines. She will, like, you're not supposed to enter the market after a certain time. You're not supposed to leave the market at a certain time. Like, she is very much like very strict. And so I think coming from that, I am able to set up, I am able to handle these different kinds of markets because I've come from a very strict market. And so people were there, like there was a girl who didn't have a tent and just had like one table. There were people who had tents and didn't have weights on their tents, which stresses me out because I have had my tent almost blow away before. That is dangerous because one, it wasn't windy where we were, so we didn't have any issues. But I think I was the only one that had weights on my tent. There may have been one other person that had weights on their tent, but because I have come from, like, I've been in situations where my tent has almost blown away before because I forgot my weights or because I didn't have my weights set up yet, and the tent has almost blown away. And that is dangerous for two reasons. One, it can hit somebody. Like, tents can fully take off and hit somebody. Like, it's just a pop-up, like the 10 by 10 pop-up with like the little blue canopy or whatever. Those things can catch wind and just poof and go hit someone, which is dangerous. Also, even if it doesn't hit anyone, if it flies off and crashes into the ground, there goes your tent. And my tents, I even buy the cheap tents, and those things are like, I think I just bought one. Yeah, it was $60, almost $70.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I don't want that blown away and breaking.
So do you feel like you were just at a glance? Did you feel like you were more experienced, a more experienced marker vendor than the other people there?
No, and here is why. I feel like I was kind of on par with the people that were there. There was another crochet artist there, which I got kind of stressed about because I got there. So the market was in Asheville, which the town that I live in is about 20, 30 minutes away. And so It's in Asheville. So I drove the 30 minutes into Asheville, and I had one of my roommates with me to help me so that while I'm doing tattoos and stuff, they can handle taking payment and taking like selling stuff on the tables and stuff. That way I can keep my butt in the chair and like keep doing stuff in case I got busy. I didn't get super busy, but it was okay. But
So were you just selling crochet at this market, or were you doing face paint in
I brought
henna?
everything.
You
Yeah.
brought everything. Okay.
Brought everything. But so we get there and we start setting up, and then I look in the car and I realize that I have forgotten all of my crochet items. All of them.
Oh no.
Yes. And it's 20 minutes away and we were already late. We were like 10 minutes late. And so I set up. And so when I first set up, I had set up and it was just my tent and a white fold out table and me sitting behind the table. I didn't have my tablecloth because so you remember when Daddy was giving away, like gave us those suitcases?
Mm-hmm.
One of those suitcases, because he like switches and he likes to have the new. And so I've got his old suitcases. One of those old suitcases, the biggest one, I keep a lot of my market stuff in there. So I've got a big tote in there with a bunch of my crochet items. I've got my tablecloths in there. I've got my sign in there. I've got my wig head in there for put my hats on. I've got all of that stuff in that tote or in that suitcase. I forgot that entire suitcase at home because I had to take it out of the car while I was babysitting so I could put the girls' car seats back there. I forgot to put it back in the car. And so when I first set up, it was just a white table, a white fold out table, and me sitting behind it under the tent. I did not have my sign. I did not have a tablecloth. I did not have any crochet items. I did not have anything even indicating what I was. Well, no, I had one little tiny chalk sign sitting on the table indicating that I was doing face paint and henna. And I was like, oh my goodness. And then one of the girls came around. One of the girls who's like helping with the thing came around. She was taking pictures of all the booths and she came around at my table. And I was like, I am so sorry. Do you mind to come back to me a little bit later? I just called my roommate and he said that he might be able to bring the rest of my stuff. And I would very much like my table to be full whenever you take my picture, if that is possible. And she's like, yeah, I'll come back around. So she left and I like kept looking, like my eyes were just focused on the road. I kept looking at the road waiting for the show. Finally I saw my other car, my Honda, drive by, and I was like, oh my goodness, he's here. And so he finally showed up and I got the rest of my stuff because he happened to be awake, which was like a miracle because he works third shift. And so there was a chance that he might not have been awake to bring me my stuff, but he was awake. And thankfully he did bring me my stuff because I had agreed to drive him to a concert later that day. And so he brought me my stuff and I was able to set up all of my things, but I was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I forgot all my stuff, which is why I didn't feel like I was more experienced than everybody because I forgot 90% of the things that I needed. It went pretty well. Like I got the rest of my stuff and I did pretty well. Like what did we buy? Oh, we had to buy another folding chair that day because I only own 2 folding chairs. And if I have somebody coming with me, I need 3 for someone to like, I need a chair for me to sit in to do henna face paint. I need a chair for the guests to sit in doing henna face paint. And then I need a third chair for my friend to sit in just in case. And I only had 2. So we went to Walmart and bought another, chair, which was like $15. I made that $15 back like so fast, like within the first like 20 minutes after I got all my stuff set up. I think in total I made about $40 at that market, like selling stuff and everything. And then that market, they very specifically because they are really trying to set up a BIPOC market and more spaces for BIPOC people to like vend and like commune and have that community and everything. So they were paying people to be there. And I didn't remember how much it said they were paying people to be there. I can't remember if I even read it anywhere, but I had in my head like, oh, they're paying us like $20, $30 to be there, something like that. She came to my table at the end and cut me a check for $70.
That's nice.
Yes, that was so good. I was like, yes, I'm coming back next month. It was so good. I was so surprised because I was fully ready to set up there, like with the expectation of getting like $20. Mm-hmm. Like I did not know how much they were cutting that check for. So that was a surprise. But
we need to work on what sells well in your area or what your pricing is or whatever,
Yeah.
because I know you're happy with this is kind of like your side hustle or whatever, and you're happy with your 40 or $50 that you get at the market. But I've been watching some of these videos on YouTube, and I know you can't compare yourself to anybody else, and I know in other places, you know, if somebody was in California saying they made $1,000 at a market, I'm like, okay, whatever. People
Hmm.
just expect to pay more money for stuff. Yeah, Ronald, it did turn out great that she got paid more. But I watched the video. You watched that video. I sent it to you
Hmm.
with that girl from Mississippi, and I think didn't she say she made like $200 or
Yeah,
something? And I'm
which
like,
I've done that at some stuff. I've done that with just henna before, like before I started doing all the crochet and everything.
I know you
I've
do that at
Yeah.
like weddings and stuff like that. But
Well, not weddings, like festival. It depends on the festival, and I am really trying to work on my presentation of my booth, because I think part of that is the issue. That's why I always, when I show up, I get dressed up. I do the face paint. I do the elf ears and stuff, because the face paint is advertised as advertising of what I do. I make sure that I've got henna on me whenever people show up, so I've got an example of what I do, and I do the elf ears, and that's why I was wearing the colored contacts and everything to like draw people in, have a good presentation, make myself memorable, because people that I don't even remember that I met somewhere remember me as the fairy lady or the fae lady who does henna. Like, it's like I'm trying to make myself more memorable. So I've definitely gotten some like parties and stuff off of that, of people like calling me to do parties, but I'm trying to make my presentation of how I set up my items on my table more presentable. Like, I'll send you a picture right now. We could pull it up on the screen while I'm talking. But I don't have any like vertical displays. All of my displays are really just everything laying out on the table. Give me 2 seconds. I just took this picture the other day. But all of my displays are things just like kind of laying out on my table. And I don't have
while she's pulling up that picture,
thank
I
you.
had to give away my breakfast slash lunch just now to your brother because I've been trying different frozen meals. Oh, let me put this down where you can hear me. I've been trying different frozen meals. And I got a healthy choice power bowl, and it was a Korean beef power bowl. And I knew Korean beef is code for there's gonna be some spice. But I thought, okay, I'll be able to handle this. And it tasted so good. But I feel it wasn't just my mouth burning. I feel like all down my esophagus here. I'm sitting here down in sweet stuff. I'm eating oranges and my iced coffee, trying to get rid of this burning. I ate half the bowl. After the first 3 bites, I was like, "Oh, this is burning more than normal."
Ooh,
And I said, "But I already cooked it. Now I got to eat it." And it's got, it's got kale and quinoa and all this stuff, and it's just really healthy and yummy and delicious. And it's like I can't. I
cannot.
can't. I can't. I ate half of it and it was like, "Oh, I can't." So I'm sitting here trying to that's why I'm sitting here eating on stream because I'm trying not to my voice was about to go. That's how much
Ooh,
spice was just it was all up in my
it's like
throat and
taking your voice away.
but it was
That
delicious.
that's like that video that I sent you of oh, what's his name? The guy on TikTok who does the like reviews of small businesses or whatever. Why can I not
You
remember his
talking about
name?
Keith Lee?
Who? Yeah, Keith Lee.
Keith
That
Lee.
yeah, that video that I sent you of Keith Lee, and he had gone to this restaurant and got these spicy wings, and he got like two of each like level of spice, and so he started with like the medium and worked his way up, and he got to the next to spiciest, and he was like, "Ooh, okay, this is I remember this," because he had the next to spiciest, but hadn't had the absolute spiciest. They made him sign a waiver and everything, and he took a bite of that, and he did that edit where he like zooms into his eyes, and he was like, "Oh
Uh-huh.
no." That was so funny. He downed like an entire ice cream and then like went back in to get another ice cream.
Uh-huh.
But I sent you those pictures on Facebook. They should be
Yeah,
coming
I'm
up.
I'm pulling them up right now.
But while she's pulling up the pictures, what I was saying, and you'll see when she gets the pictures pulled up, is all of my, you can see right there, all of my stuff, that's 2 tables put together. So I've got 2 6-foot tables put together for one big, because it was raining that day, so they had to be put together. Usually I'll have them parallel on either side so people can walk straight through, and if they come to get henna or something, they walk straight through and I sit at the back. But with all of my stuff there together, you can see everything is laid flat on the table. I don't have any like shelving to put things up higher. I don't have anything like that. So everything's laid out. And so I think what helps a lot of people at other markets is they have like some sort of shelving or like boxes or something that they'll put up, and then they'll have more things set up there. And so people, before they walk up on the table, can see what they have, as opposed to having to stand on top of the table and look across the table. And so I'm trying to get more like vertical setup.
And also I'm noticing that your
My
your tablecloth
mm-hmm.
is like, it's a bright color and it's kind of obscuring the color of your
Yeah, of
items,
everything. Yeah.
because it all kind of looks, the colors of the tablecloth look kind of jumbled up with the colors of your items. So the colors of your items don't really draw people over. It just looks like a
Yeah.
mishmash of color. But what I have seen, and I don't know if you can do this, what I have seen at I wish I knew what they called them. But what I've seen at markets, like when I went to Hippie Fest and stuff, is that they have like a standing mesh
Yeah,
screen
yeah, I know what you're talking
almost,
about. They have those at conventions too, anime conventions and stuff.
like a mesh screen, and then they have the clothing items kind of like hanging off. Because I've seen a lot
Mm-hmm.
of crochet stuff hanging off of, and clothing items hanging off of those mesh screen type things. But I don't know how those things are attached or how they stand or whatever.
I know how they are because I've looked at them before. I've seen people post about them before. I'm just trying to. I need to be able to
Are they
find them.
expensive?
The ones that I looked at originally were, I could probably find some cheaper ones. I just have to figure it out because it's hard to search for something when you kind of know what it's called but don't really know what it's called. And so, because they just have like two little feet or whatever, and then they
Uh-huh.
attach together or zip tie together, however you want to set it up,
Mhm.
and then they stand.
Yeah, because I've seen some that look like they're, they bend in the middle so that you
Hmm.
have a screen on either side, and they're kind of
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I was
But
talking to Wayne about how for everyone, my husband, I was talking to him about how I
her
want,
ogre, that's her ogre.
okay, about how because I want to redo my entire setup so that it's very more like thematic. And so I'm trying to, again, those two tables there, I would split up. I want to have, I think those racks are a good idea if I can get some of those racks and have the clothes hanging up. And then I want to get like paneling for the tent. This is all like way later on. This is going to take so long to do. But I want to get like paneling for the tent. Like I was thinking I could get some, there's like some sheets from Goodwill or something, some old sheets, and dye them all so they're the same color or whatever, and then have them set up, and then use. I saw some tutorials of how you can use just like foam from Walmart or whatever to make like a brick pattern, and so I can make it look like a brick, like you're walking into a tavern or like a magic shop, and have it look like brick on
Yeah.
the inside. And then I want to have more things hanging from the top, so I would like
Uh-huh.
cover the legs in like either some fabric or like crochet some vines or something to cover the legs of the tent, and then have like because I've got those wind spinners that I still have not finished, and so I need to finish those and hang them up. And then I could make like from dowel rods, I can make little perches and have like amigurumis like perched on the little perches, like they're birds or like dragons sitting on the perches or whatever. Just like I want more stuff
More
set up.
thematic stuff.
Yes, I want more thematic stuff. It's just having stuff takes time and money.
It does, but I mean, if this is going to be your hustle,
Yeah.
you need to work on it.
I'm working on it. But long story short, BIPOC market was good. Circling back to a thing I said earlier, I was stressed about the other lady who had crochet because she was an older lady and I didn't originally have crochet. And then my roommate was bringing my crochet items, and in my anxiety head, I'm like, ooh, she's going to see that I didn't have crochet items. And then I had somebody bring me crochet items because I saw her crochet items, and she's going to think that I'm copying her and blah, blah, blah. and I was spiraling. And so I, one, very specifically made an effort to go out and try to talk to as many of the vendors as possible. And I walked up and said, "Hey, I'm just seeing what everybody's got and introducing myself and blah, blah, blah." And everybody was super nice and friendly. And
That's
so I
cool.
went and yes, and so I went and talked to her at her table, and she had a bit of an accent. I don't know where from, but she had a bit of an accent. But she was like an older lady, but I was like, "Hey, how are you?" I'm just introducing myself, and she was very like jovial and friendly. And I was like, "I like your crochet stuff. I've got some crochet stuff over there too, but I think our stuff is like pretty different." And she's like, "It doesn't matter. There's plenty of space for all of us. It'll be absolutely fine." And she came over to my table and actually gave me a suggestion, because I've got little I made pom-pom earrings. Like, I just took some old yarn, made some pom-pom and put them on earring hooks or whatever. And
Hmm.
she came over to my table and she pointed at those. She's like, "If you take those and make them a little bit smaller and put them on a chain and make keychains, sell them for
Hmm.
$5 and people will buy them." And I was like, "Oh,
Hmm.
really?" I honestly hadn't thought about
I
making them for
was
keychains.
just thinking keychains myself, because after I watched that video with that girl that I sent you, I thought keychains are a thing that people might buy. You know,
Yeah,
keychains are the little things to clip you to the back of your book bag, because I think
mhm.
kids still do that.
Yeah.
Clip things to their book bags.
Hmm.
So those might be a thing.
Yeah, but she came over and she's like, "You make those a little bit smaller, put them on keychains and sell them for $5." She's like, "Those will really sell, because I've got a ton of those at my house that I like. I have to keep making them all the time because I sell out of them all the time. You should do that." And she came over and was like giving me suggestions and stuff. So I was like, I felt so good that she like
What
didn't
kind
have
of
any
stuff?
animosity or anything there.
What kind of stuff was she selling?
She was just selling like hats, but like not like bucket hats or anything. Like, we had very different stuff. She had some hats, and then some,
Like winter hats?
yeah, like beanies kind of
Oh, okay.
hats, it seemed like. Um and then I feel like she had something else, but I just cannot picture it in my head right now. But yeah, we had some different stuff. And I finally was able to get rid of you remember that vest that just was always on my table? The vest that I made it from like a cake yarn, and it had like a
The big like
mandala.
mandala vest.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it wasn't big. It was basically child size. But one of the girls at the market that I was talking to, she spotted it and she's like, "Ooh, I really want that. How much is it?" And I was like, "I'm so tired of having this at my table," because I've had that at my table for over a year now, for like 2 years almost. And so I was like, "I'm willing to do a trade for it if you've got some stuff." So we traded some like incense and stuff for that vest, and she got it, and she got it for her. And she's like adult. She was like, "Yes, it looks super cute, and it's gonna like, I like having my titties out, so it's gonna be nice." And she she literally she put it on right there, and I was like, "Girl, if you wear that by itself," she's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have to get some pasties and everything so I don't have any nips everywhere, but it looks cute." And she put it on right there.
Like having
I
your
was
titties
like,
on show.
yeah, I was like, "Girl, it was meant for you." I've had it on the table for years, and people said they were gonna buy it for their like daughters and nieces and stuff, and nobody ever did. You go, you get it, you rock it.
Oh
I want to
my
make some more
goodness.
of those because it didn't take super long, and it was cute. I want more things to be able to like hang up.
Okay, well, before we get into the crafty thing, I
Yes.
just want to take this last thing off of my list,
And I need to check
which
the list, see if there's anything I need to add.
is that I am finding it difficult to eat. We were talking about my Susan of multiple sclerosis and how it is annoying, just enough to be annoying, but not enough to like. I don't think people even remember that there's anything wrong with me, because my I'm no longer under a doctor's care, but that's a long story. Well, not too long, but whatever. And but the neurologist I used to have used to always make this comment about how one of the things with the way they diagnose multiple sclerosis is that you have lesions on your brain. That's how they know that you have that the multiple sclerosis is the activity is there.
Ew.
Don't make the face.
The word lesions is always going to get new.
And depending on where the lesions are on your brain, those are the places where your in your nervous system where you may have different kinds of symptoms. Okay. But he used to always say, considering how many lesions you have a crazy amount of lesions in there, and you should be like, with a cane or something with all the lesions that you've got. He was just always surprised that I'm still walking and talking and working and, no foot drop and all this other stuff. But I would come to him with symptoms and he'd be like, yeah, that's just part of MS. Nothing we can do about it. I
That's like
guess
when I take my car into the shop and they're like, "Yeah, your car is just old. It's gonna leak oil."
yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. So that's why I'm not really in a rush to go back to get under a neurologist care because um I keep remembering my experience with him and
Hmm.
thinking uh, all these things that I have, nothing has really changed. And so I'm going to go to a new neurologist and they're going to tell me the same thing of, yeah, that's just MS. It's too bad. But anyway, so the latest thing I'm just saying this all to say that occasionally I will complain about things that are just, I'm not complaining about them for you to say, "Oh, that's so sad, my poor mommy." No, it's more like, yeah, this is the funny, annoying thing that I have this week
As long as it stops you
or
from
this
saying the
month.
word lesions.
So anyway, the thing that is bothering me lately, you saw on my list, I said that eating warm sandwiches is troublesome. What I mean by that is I have the numbness, it's a weird numbness in my fingers, especially in my fingertips. Right at this minute, these particular fingers in particular are bothering me, just right at the pads of the fingers.
Hmm.
And when I say bother, it's like right now it feels sort of numb, like the start of
Is it like when your fingers fall asleep, like you lay on your hand?
no, it's more like the start of frostbite. It's like the start of frostbite when the not the part where you come in and your hands start to warm up and it hurts. It's the part where your hands start to get
Mm.
numb because they're getting cold and you're playing in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
ice, but you don't care because it's like, oh, I'm having fun in the ice or whatever.
yeah.
Okay, but then what happens is when I go to eat, like say a hamburger or a yummy sandwich, hot sandwich I have made for myself, when I go to pick it up it is too uncomfortable for me to touch the sandwich. Or when I heat something in the microwave, I have to put a couple plates under it because the heat goes through. Like if I just
Mm.
take the thing, you know how the stuff comes in a plastic bowl or whatever when you heat a frozen meal.
Yeah.
That is too hot to touch directly. I
Hmm.
have to put the thing in the microwave and then take it out and put it on a plate and then put another plate under it or put a
You need to crochet yourself a trivet.
or put a I have my Star Trek um pot holder that I've been putting under stuff to carry my plate. Because you want to hold your plate to your mouth while you're eating because we eat in bed. You know how we are.
Yeah.
We never sit at the table. So I'm always holding a plate in front of me. Or when I go to eat my grilled cheese sandwich or my Reuben or whatever, touching the sandwich is difficult. By the time the sandwich gets cool enough for me to pick it up, the sandwich is cold.
Ooh.
So it's not too hot. So when I say it's too hot for me to touch, it's not like, oh, I have a steaming hot sandwich. It's like it's it's just the perfect temperature for me to eat. It's
I
just the
thought I
perfect
lost
temperature for
it.
me to eat, but it is too hot for me to pick up.
Hmm.
So I have this balance of I want to eat my sandwich now because it is yummy now. And sometimes I'll take paper towels and wrap paper towels around it and try to pick it up that way so I can go ahead and eat it.
Yeah, I was about to say. So what I'm hearing is you need to get some sandwich gloves.
But a lot of times I just let my food go cold so that I can pick it up, which is which is annoying.
Yes.
But So yeah, so that's annoying MS symptom number 67. So so now that we have talked about our life issues, we can move on. And we've already been going for an hour. This is going to be a
Yep.
long one. I bet
Well,
Ronald has already left us. It can't be too long because you got to go pick up your ogre.
part of that hour was us trying to figure out why you couldn't hear me.
I don't know what happened there.
That was crazy. Do you have any knitted,
I am so
crocheted?
sorry. I know it is not it's the wiping my face on video. I'm sure is not cool, but I have this fan turned on me. Unless I turn this table around, I my face is going to sweat, and I do not want sweat dripping down into my mouth. Okay.
Ugh.
Well, yeah, that sounds gross, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Just wipe your
Okay.
face. It's okay.
Well, I know it looks rude, but
We
I
just
can't
had this full conversation about how you can't hold sandwiches. and you and you're stressed about wiping your face.
because I'm trying not to be rude.
Why would wiping your face be rude? I don't understand. What are these etiquette? Do I need to go to like an etiquette class? What is going on?
You never see people. I guess because we don't ever edit our videos
I still
that
need to talk to Chloe. I have not talked to her.
I try not to do anything on camera that probably should be edited out because I know that we're not going to edit. So I'm trying to be polite,
Hmm.
but I just
You and I do not watch the same kind of streams. Because when I watch people doing live streams, like one of my favorite streamers, they were literally just playing a game the other day, and they stream on Twitch, and so their videos get cut down and edited and moved over to YouTube.
uh,
And they like were in the middle of playing a game, and their cat just jumped up and like ran across the keyboard and like knocked over a mouse and stuff, and like they left that in. They
oh
fully
my goodness.
their food got delivered, and they left in like one of them getting up to go get the food and their phone ringing, and so we do not watch the same kind of stream.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're on to Yarny Crafty Thoughts. Do
Yes.
you want to go first?
Yeah, I could show some of this stuff. Do you have do you have stuff you want to
I
show?
am in the middle of working on my crafty thought as we speak. I'm still crafting.
Okay, well, you
So,
craft that. I will pull up. I commandeered one of these bags that we got for when we moved into this house.
oh
Um,
my.
because I need somewhere to put my finished projects because I keep leaving them like in like I will get bags from Joann's or Homophobic Hobby Lobby, and I will leave the yarn and the projects in those bags. And
Oh,
so
I hate that.
yes. And so I can see right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I know there's 2 in the living room, 9, 10, at least 10 grocery bags that have either yarn or projects in them. And I was like, I have got to fix this. And so part of it is I do not have good storage for yarn and stuff. And we are still in the process of trying to move. And so I don't want to set up more storage and then have to break it down
Take
and
it
move
down.
if we're going to be
Mhm.
moving soon. So I've got to figure out my storage situation. But in the meantime, I commandeered, and this is a big, like this is like the size of a pretty large duffel. It's a big bag. And so
Yep.
I have started putting my finished projects in there, or like mostly finished and just need ends weaved in. I've started putting those projects in here. That way I don't have to go look all over creation for them. And this bag will be easy for me to just pick up and grab to take to a market or something. So
Mhm.
I've got a few things in here. Remember when we were talking about the grocery bag monster that I just admitted that I have in my own house that I'm trying to get rid of?
Yep.
I'm making some rainbow bags. Look.
Oh, that looks great. That is like very obviously a rainbow bag.
I'm just upset with the orange and red that I chose. It shows up better on camera, honestly, but this is
Uh-huh.
red and orange, and they are
Uh-huh.
so like
So
in the sun.
close. They're
Yeah, in the
close.
sunlight they look different, but in my house when I'm in the dim shade or whatever, these are the same color. Like looking at this with my
They're
eyeballs, these are
so
basically the same
close.
color. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I need to go and get another orange from Homophobic Hobby Lobby or hopefully Joann's if I make it out there. I want to get a more like yellow orange. But so I've got two of these that I just need the ends weaved in. This is a wider one.
Uh-huh. I like that.
Are they so
I
cute?
like that a lot.
And I made a non-binary one. No beanie.
Cool. I like it.
I just need to weave the ends in. And
I
then
thought they called that NB.
you can call it, I think, NB, no beanie, non-binary, a lot of things.
Okay.
Um,
This is your mother trying to stay cool and hip. Go ahead.
you get yeah. If someone says they are no beanie, they are non-binary. No
Okay.
beanie. They have no beanies. Um, and then I am going to another festival in June. Hopefully, we will talk about that in a minute. Actually, I can go ahead and talk about it right now. We can, and I can just mark that off the list. There's a mermaid festival in one of the nearby towns.
Mermaid Festival.
Yeah, fully like they have a parade with floats and everything. Mermaid festival. Um, and I want to go then, and it's a pretty popular thing, and they like lots of kids show up. They have like bouncy houses and water slides and lots of fun, like all kinds of fun thematic things, and all of the like restaurants on the strip like get involved and people go in and stuff. And so I'm hoping to go then to that one, but tell me why in the year of our Lord 2023, there is nowhere online to find the application. I have to
Oh
directly,
no.
I had to email the person setting up the market. They emailed me back with the application, not a PDF to fill out. I have to print it out, and you say, oh, why don't you just write the thing and then scan it, blah, blah. I have to print it out, fill it out, and then mail it back in with my payment.
Oh no.
In the year of our Lord 2023.
I know. I know.
What is this? And
That
it's
is a bit
$50.
much. Oh my goodness.
But anyway,
Yeah, that reminds me of this kind of should have went in life update. But anyway, for my medical coding certification, I have to do CEUs. And so basically I have to take some sort of class and fit the qualification for a class is that you take the class, you take the quiz, and then they give you a certificate that you can turn into the organization to add to your CEUs. I've got about 15 left that I have to do.
mm-hmm.
And so that's a lot of companies to advertise their services or whatever, they'll give you like a deal on one of their classes so that you'll come back and buy more of their classes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so I saw a deal on a class for 10 CEUs, which is normally 10 CEUs is like $250 kind of class. And she was doing a 10 for 10 deal.
Oh my goodness.
And like, so I gave her my $10. I got the information, and the email that she sent me was so cluttered full of copy and paste over copy and paste over copy and paste that she had just copy and pasted from previous deals that she had.
Oh my goodness.
With all different dates in it and stuff like that. And I sent her a couple of emails to try to get clarification, and the clarification she sent clarified nothing. And I said, well, maybe if I listen to the lecture she sent me, maybe they'll tell me in the lecture how to send her the answers to this quiz. And the lectures, the lectures are just direct recordings of her Zoom. It's like listening to one of our videos where with all of our technical difficulties and everything else, which our videos are free. So
yeah, the free entertainment for fun, not for paying for a job.
Exactly. And that and her giving all her shout outs to everybody who showed up in the Zoom and how's your baby and all this other kind of stuff. And I'm like, when are we going to get to the part where I can take this quiz? And I mean, and the video was like 6 hours long.
She's
I
got
mean,
to have a tech savvy niece or nephew somewhere that can fix this for her. I
and I
don't
mean, this
understand.
is her, this is her business. She sells these things, and I'm like, who is buying this stuff from you?
I
For
do
the
not
I'm like, mm-mm.
understand.
So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a loss on this $10 because I found there's another company that does CEUs, and it's like 45 minutes for one CEU, and that's a deal because usually you have to sit through at least an hour, hour and a half for a CEU.
Mm-hmm.
45 minutes, 10 questions, you get your CEU right on the spot. The on-demand video was very informative. I had done one of their videos a while back, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool." But I thought it was just like the other companies do. They give you one for free to try to get you in to buy all their other ones.
Mm-hmm.
No, from April of last year, all of their classes are free,
Oh my
and
goodness.
they do at least one or two a month. All of them are free. All the CEU classes are free because they are selling something different. So it's like, yeah, we will give you the free CEUs to try to get you to buy this other service,
Mm-hmm.
which is not a service that I need to buy, but I will be glad to take the CEUs.
Yeah, that is crazy. So that's a good find.
So yeah, that's a good find. So I will be able to get all of my CEUs done before July, and
And those classes will count for your certification
yes,
stuff.
they'll count for my certification, and they are very, I mean, just the way, I mean, they have a whole like computer program. Like you click the link and they have all these windows pop up, and they have this little timer in the corner because it's like you have, this is like a 90-minute class, but you only have to watch 45 minutes of it to qualify for your CEU thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got the little quiz down in the bottom, so you can go ahead and be taking the quiz while she's talking. So if you already know some of these answers, go ahead and do them. And
Nice.
then there's a little
They got to put
thing.
together.
It is. They've got another little thing in the corner where you can, like, she's talking through the whole thing, but she's got the whole presentation set up over here on the side that you can just download. So what I do is I listen to her talk. So I can
Mm-hmm.
do, because I have to listen for at least 45 minutes, but then I download the presentation and I read through it and find the answers for the ones that I don't know the answers to,
Mm-hmm.
take the quiz, turn it in, let the rest of the 45 minutes run out, download my CEU certificate, boom,
Good.
boom, boom, boom. But I mention all that just because the thing you were talking about with the mermaid thing is like, I don't understand how some of these people get by without
Like,
the,
how has
the
no one?
technology.
Because this
Yeah.
is a big popular festival. A lot of people vend at this festival enough that they have raised it since. Also, on the application, because I had the old application from the last time I tried to vend, which the old application showed the old application says from 2017. I did not vend in 2017. I did not start. I only was vending at my local farmers market in 2016 and 2017. I did not vend at the thing in 2017. They did not change
Mhm.
the date, and so the
Exactly.
one
That's the thing about the there's dates in there from when you were doing the April deal, and this is May.
exactly, and so the application that I have now, it says for 2022. They have not corrected because I found that application before, and I was like, oh, this must be the wrong one. And she emailed it to me, and I was like, oh,
It
this
is the
is
right
the correct
one.
one. And so,
Exactly.
and it's like they get enough people that they have raised the price because according to the 2017 application that I had in my files, the price before was $20 and they have since
Uh-huh.
raised it to 50. So they are getting enough business and enough people to raise it to $50. And no one has told this person that they need to make just like a Google form.
Exactly.
Google Forms are not, I can make a Google form. Google Forms are not that hard. I could probably teach my 6 year olds how to make a Google form. I don't understand. Like,
Yeah.
I understand how you want to get the money, but that's also like, if you're a business, do you not have Square? Do you not have PayPal? Do you not have like, where do you keep your finances? We should be able to send the money there
Yeah.
instead of me having to mail in. There is a line that says how are you paying for your thing? And there's check boxes. You can check cash, check, or like money order. And I'm like, what is going on right now? What is going on right
Check.
now?
I still have checks sitting, and the only thing I use my checkbook for these days is I pull the checkbook down so I can get the account number and routing number off the bottom of the
Yes.
check to put into a form, and then I put the checkbook back up on top of the
Yeah,
shelf.
that is the two reasons that we keep our checks around. One, so that I can do that, and two, because our current landlady only accepts checks
Except
for our rent.
checks. I haven't had to write a check because I never leave the house, so I haven't had to write a check in goodness knows how long.
Absolutely crazy. But anyway, all that to say, I'm making stuff for the Mermaid Festival. Oh no, I set the bag down. That was too far. I'm making stuff for the Mermaid Festival. Are you ready for this? You're not ready. You
Okay,
think you're ready? You're not ready for this.
I'm not ready. Oh my goodness, that's so cute.
Isn't it? Isn't it? It's got the little tail.
That is so cute. Was it a lot to make? Was it difficult?
Yeah, this one took a lot. This one, this was gonna have to be $35 like I had, honestly.
Mhm,
Which is not much, like for a
mhm.
bag, but I am making another one right now because I saw on the website of the thing. Are these still the same size? Yeah, these are the same size. So because I went up a size in crochet hook because I think they said they asked for a 4 millimeter crochet hook, and I refuse to use anything but my 5 millimeter crochet hook unless I absolutely have to. Um,
Mhm.
but following the pattern, so this is the child size of the
Uh-huh.
bag. This is a pretty like
Yeah, and
decent size.
it looks like a child size to me, and I'm thinking, okay, nobody's gonna pay $35 for a child size bag, but what do I know?
Does it look like a child size? Because that goes almost all the way up my forearm.
That's true.
This is like this will hold some stuff. This will hold my phone. This will hold like an iPad mini. Like this will hold some stuff. But so I might and I'm making another one because I was like, oh, maybe I initially read because I wanted to make child sizes for the Mermaid Festival. Like I
Mhm,
might make a few big ones, but I wanted to make child sizes for the
mhm.
Mermaid Festival. So what I'm thinking is this will be the regular size because I'm not making one bigger than this because this
Uh-huh.
already took like I think the thing that took the longest was making the bag took like no time. Making the tail was actually I'm in the middle of making another tail right now. It's actually very
Uh-huh.
easy. And then the shell stitch around the edge. I actually so this shell stitch super cute, but I was like I kind of want to do a layered shell stitch, and so on the one that I've gotten here, I wonder if you can even really see it because it's in white. But I did. Oh, come on, come on! Is it focusing on the thing instead of my face? It's but I've got two layers of shell stitch essentially. You can't really
Uh-huh.
see
Okay, I
because they're
see.
white. Yeah,
Yeah.
but there's like a layer of there we go. If I zoom in a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Um but what I think I'm going to do next time is I will follow the pattern because the thing that took really the longest was sewing the star on here because I hate sewing anything. It takes forever. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow the pattern maybe to about here to make like a
Mhm,
little bag, follow it to maybe
mhm.
about here, and then like just do a few rows of just like straight stitch or whatever. So it'll be about this big or maybe smaller, and then I'll just make a smaller star to put on there. And then I can have some smaller bags that I could sell for maybe 10 or 15.
Mhm. That sounds like a plan. That sounds like a
But
plan.
I'm
Oh,
really happy with how it turned out with the variegated yarn. Like it looks, I really like it.
okay. Cozy hoodie still on hiatus.
Still on hiatus. I have not picked it up because I am busy making things for markets.
Do we want to just frog it?
I don't want to frog it. I bought all that yarn for it.
If
I
we
don't
can
want to
still
frog
use
it.
that yarn for a different hoodie.
But it was going to be so nice.
Okay, well, hold on to it.
I might,
I haven't worked on mine either.
honestly,
Okay.
I might, if we do frog it, then I am going to make a sweater on the Incredible Sweater Machine.
Mhm. Sounds like a plan. Okay, because life is too short to stick with the pattern that we're not enjoying.
Yeah, it's just real time consuming, honestly.
Okay. Do we want to talk or do we want to show?
Let's. I don't know. You pick.
Okay, well, we'll just go straight down the list. Okay. Well, this isn't on the list, but I just finished it while we were talking. My goal was to finish these two things to show you,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't finish either one of them before the stream, but at least I finished this while we were talking. You see, I got my Martin Luther King up there.
Yes.
Yes. I put it right there because when I sit at my desk turned this way, I can see it. It makes me
Mm-hmm.
happy. It's my favorite one. I cannot explain the color combination of that
It looks
and just
very
the look
good.
of just the look of the picture. It makes me happy when I look at it.
It looks
I
very good.
mean, never mind that the subject and he was a great man and everything. Just the color, I got lucky picking the right colors with that, and it just makes me happy. The color combination makes me happy. Okay, so I've got my 3 pictures up so far. Again, I know they look crooked in my camera. I do not know why they look crooked in my camera. I don't know why I try to that doesn't help.
It did not occur to me until you
That
said
doesn't
something.
help.
Oh, that does
This
help actually a little bit. There you
then
go.
I look crooked.
But you always look
Anyway,
crooked.
this is true. I always look crooked. There you go. But today's picture that I finished just now.
Ooh. Ooh, I like it. That's hang on, hang on. Audrey Hepburn?
Yes, it looks
Okay.
better. It looks better in the camera than it does in person. I mean, it looks. I think I'm happy with it in person, but
Yeah.
like the lightest color, I didn't have another shade of green, so I had to go with this thing called Golden Nugget, and I wasn't real happy with the color. But in the
It,
camera, it looks
it
like it's
looks
a shade of
good.
green. In the
It looks like it
camera,
looks like it was an
yeah,
intentional color choice. It looks good.
this light color looks like it's a shade of green. So I'm glad I didn't go with the sunset yellow or whatever I was gonna do, because now it looks like it's green.
Yeah, it looks good.
So that's gonna go up there, probably here, maybe.
Well, if it goes
But
there, it'll be
you
behind your
won't
head.
see it. You won't see it. I could
You
put
can
it
put it
right.
under Marilyn.
Yeah, I could put it under Maryland. I got tape that is I got this Scotch removable poster tape,
Ooh, nice. Yeah, I was wondering how you got them
and
up.
it's a little finicky because there's sticky on the other side of it, and then you have to like put it down on the back of the poster and then peel the paper part up.
Mm-hmm.
And but I mean the sticky is like it's almost like you take a glue stick and put it on the back of the thing.
Okay.
So it's a real thin layer of adhesive,
I
and
mean, they said removable.
it's not real easy to get the end of the paper. A lot of times when I
Mm,
grab the end of the paper, it's pulling the adhesive up with it too. So you're trying to separate the paper from the adhesive. So you have to kind of really smash the tape into the back of the poster and then try to if
mm-hmm.
you don't have fingernails, you ain't getting that.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, so that's number one. Number two, I've been thinking about on and off. This has been for months. This is a thought for months that I want to do some amigurumi
Yes.
because I've made amigurumi before. Okay, don't get your hopes up. I haven't made any yet.
Oh my gosh.
I made a few back when your sister was still dating boys. I made some um Pokemon balls,
Mm-hmm.
Pokeballs. And that's when I discovered that's
Fastest way to sound old, Pokemon balls. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna
well,
have to
I was
pull that clip for TikTok.
okay, thanks so much. I was gonna say Pokeballs, and I thought, well, no, that's not right.
Except it is. Except
Okay,
it is. Trust your gut. Trust
okay, whatever.
trust your inner Maya.
So I thought, well, I'm gonna go ahead and buy some fiberfield. Last time I bought fiberfield, which by the way, those Pokeballs I stuffed with old baby socks that I still had, You guys were grown ass adults, and
They were
I still
our baby socks?
yes, they were your baby socks.
I thought you
That
meant like baby socks that you had made and just didn't give to anybody. They were our
no,
baby
they were
socks.
your baby socks still in, that basket that I don't know how other
The sock
families do
basket.
it. Yeah, I don't know how other families do it, but we have a sock basket where all the socks get washed, and that when we're sorting the laundry, if we sort the laundry, because half the time I wear my clothes straight out of the basket these days. But if we sort the laundry, we toss all the socks into a basket to supposedly be paired later. But again, usually people would just sift through the basket till they found two socks that matched and go on your way. We still have a sock basket. But at some point when the kids were in college, I decided to do a severe this was around the time that I had my diagnosis, shortly after, where I was trying to throw away everything in the house, and your father was like, "Stop." But I went through a thing, and I still go through it every once in a while. But at first it was severe, where I was like, I cannot clean around all of this stuff. If I am going to, because I was also on medication at the time, which meant I wanted to sleep all the time,
Mm-hmm.
all the time. Three days a week, I had chills like I had the flu, and then the rest of the time, all I wanted to do was sleep. So I was like, if this is going to be my life now, I could, because at the time I thought I was going to stay on that medication. If this is going to be my life now, I cannot clean around all this stuff. So we got to throw it all away. So I
Mm-hmm.
was just, so I went through the sock basket and started really getting rid of socks. And that's when I realized, oh my God, because our sock basket is never empty. The sock basket never fully gets sorted. And it's like, my kids are in college and I have baby socks in here, not socks that have shrunk down.
Full on made
Full
for
on,
children baby socks.
full on baby socks. So I used them to stuff Pokeballs because I did not want to buy fiberfill.
Which I
But
still do not understand. Fiberfill is not expensive.
But I have bought fiberfill before in the past. I've seen fiberfill in the store. And another thing you need to know about me is that I do not have a good brain for like any kind of measurement, for distance,
Oh,
for
me either.
time, for weight. The only thing I can estimate, for some reason, 4 inches is stuck in my head, because back when I used to um knit socks, when I went through that brief sock knitting period, all the cuffs on sock patterns were 4 inches. So I
Mm.
kind of had in my head what 4 inches is. But other than that, I do really have no brain for measurement. So I ordered fiberfill the other, I guess it was about a week ago. Same time I ordered those two white outfits I was telling you about. Why are you leaning in?
I'm trying to see where the story is going.
I ordered fiberfill, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to order too much fiberfill because I know fiberfill is really light. So, if I order like a 1 pound bag of fiberfill, it's going to be gigantic. So I'm going to start with a small amount of fiberfill because I don't know how much, you know, I don't know how many amigurumi I'm going to do. So I'm going to start out small, and I don't want to spend enough. So I got like a 3.5 ounce bag of fiberfill. And I thought, oh, it's going to be like, this. Because, I've bought fiberfill in the store. And I bought it on Amazon. Apparently, it's been a long time since I bought fiberfill because they must have changed the way they package it. Because this is my bag of fiberfill.
Oh my goodness. I was like, this is going to be either a ridiculously large or a ridiculously small amount. What in the they vacuum sealed your fiberfill like it's a
I
stuffy.
guess so. I thought I would open it on the stream
Ooh, I
just
want to see it puff up. I hope it
I
explodes
just want to
everywhere.
see if it's gonna puff, but I don't think it's gonna puff.
I hope it explodes
I think
everywhere.
because it doesn't feel like it's vacuum sealed, because there's a little bit of room in here. It doesn't feel like it's vacuum sealed.
Okay, so that
And it took days for, remember, I got that little triangle thing for Christmas. I put it on my wish list
I
to
do not
sit
recall.
my it's a little triangle thing to sit my
Oh
iPad
yeah, yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember now.
And we were disappointed when we got it out of the bag because it was so smushed, and it took almost a week for that. And I use that thing every night now, by the way. But it
Mhm.
took a week for it to like puff
So
up.
yeah.
to wear. So this is probably going to be very disappointing.
Yeah, I'm like 3.5 ounces. Is that the weight of the paper?
So so I probably won't make a lot of. Ooh, this is another bag.
Maybe that one's vacuum sealed?
So I'm probably not going to get. And whenever you get these things, they're translated from another language. Using compression technology, it has a rebound effect. So is that telling me that it's going to
Sounds like it.
do something? I don't know. But I know there are people who are like they don't like the sound of. Okay, now
That's vacuum sealed.
that's vacuum seal.
That's what I wanted. That's vacuum sealed.
They put it in 2 bags.
So much waste.
2 bags.
So much waste.
Too bad they don't have Ziplocs on these bags because I put yarn in them in a minute.
They could have smacked a sticker label on that vacuum sealed bag, honestly.
That is true.
Why did they need I don't understand why they needed 2 bags.
Okay. Well, you vamp for a minute while I go get scissors.
This is me vamping. Everyone in the audience now and in the future watching this video, how big do you think that bag is going to puff up? I hope it's an explosion. I hope it's so chaotic and goes everywhere because that would just be my wildest dream. That would fulfill my wildest dream of just she opens it and fiber fill just everywhere. I would love it so much. But that it feels like such a small amount of fiber fill because I buy fiber fill because I have made several amigurumis and I've got actually I don't buy fiber fill super often because I've made amigurumis and the last time I bought fiber fill was like 6 months ago and I've been working off that same bag of fiber fill because it is like when I buy fiber fill from Homophobic Hobby Lobby because that's my closest craft store. I buy it and it's in like a big it looks like it's like the size of a pillow like plastic bag and it's not compressed at all. It's just all.
See, that's what I was expecting. I mean, I didn't buy a big one, but okay, I knew I should have brought scissors in here before. I grabbed your father's scissors. These are not my scissors. That's why they look rusty.
Oop.
But I'm not going to touch the fiber fill with them, so we'll see. Again, this may be disappointing. It may not do anything.
I'm hoping for chaos. I am praying for chaos.
We have so much fun. Well, it's already starting to.
Oh, it's puffed up a little. It looks like cotton candy. This is not the chaos I wanted.
It's not the chaos, but
that's a decent amount, though. You can make a few movies with that.
Yeah, it's more fiber filled than I expected. Now I got to try to tuck it back in this bag.
Grab one of the bigger bags. Grab one of the bigger bags.
Okay.
Isn't this entertaining? Watching my mother put fiber fill back into a plastic bag. Will it even fit in the bigger bag?
It will.
Now that it is puffed. That was a little entertaining. Not the chaos that I wanted, but still a little entertaining.
This is kind of what I expected. This is kind of the size of bag I expected when I said I was getting 4.5 ounces of fiber fill.
Yeah, they vacuum sealed.
This is kind of what I expected. Mm-hmm. Maybe a little bit bigger, but this is kind of what I expected.
Yeah, so I bet you saved a lot on shipping for them.
It's already starting. It's already, as we speak, it is puffing a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So
you're gonna come back to that bag and it's like spilling out on the floor.
So that's mildly entertaining. Maybe I can make something next week. My brain goes all over the place because I'm like, okay, what should I be working on? Should I be working on that baby blanket that I wanted to make for your cousin's baby son, who is going to be 3 this year, I think.
Oh my goodness. I keep forgetting that she has a child because she is about the same age as me.
Rose is not the same age as you.
Oh, you talking about Rose? I thought you were talking about Kelly.
No.
I didn't know which cousin you were talking about.
No, I already made their sweaters and sent their stuff.
Oh, I thought you were making them another thing. Yeah, Rose.
No.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I
Because
made this
Rose
stuff and sent it.
babysitted me. She's not the same age as me.
Yeah, I'm trying to spread. I'm number one. I'm trying to make things for other people because they say if you make things for other people, then it improves your mood. Because I've got that low level sadness
Hmm.
that I try to fight. So I thought if I make things for other people, so I sent that off, and that was nice. So I'm gonna try to make this blanket for Rose's son, and maybe something for Rose's daughter, who should be about 18 at this point, 18,
Don't you
19
say
years
that.
old.
Don't you say that to me. She is a baby child who is 7 at most.
Mm-mm.
Don't you say that to me.
No, last time I saw her in a cheerleading uniform, she looked full ass grown.
Don't you
She's
say that to me.
she's not a baby. She's at least 16.
She is a
Um,
baby with braids and beads in her hair.
uh-uh. No, she is not a baby with braids and beads in her hair.
Oh my
So
goodness.
next thing, so I have while I'm doing this before I show my next thing, um, I don't think I like knitting with Red Heart Super Saver anymore.
Oh,
Let me calm down. Calm down. I have not betrayed the family. I have not betrayed the family. I'm sending a text to Poppy asking how old Rose's daughter is.
okay. And he's going to reply with 8 years old at most.
But she's at least 16, so I was thinking I would make her one of those halter tops or whatever.
Ooh, cute.
Because I like making those. You know how you see the girlies on YouTube do those tutorials with no written pattern, and but the halter tops are always cute. And I was thinking, and I like making. I made one that your sister refused to wear, so I'm never making her one again. But I could make one for somebody else. I like making them. I like the
Yeah.
look of them. I just have nobody to wear them.
Are you talking about the kind that's just like a strip crocheted and straps? Or are you talking about the one where you crochet like cup and then like a strap underneath?
Yeah, yeah, like that. Like
Okay.
cup, and then the bottom half. Yeah, I like those. They're cute.
They are
But
cute.
I
I
have
want to
no
make
one to
some.
wear
I
them.
just
Um,
have not done them yet.
okay. Red Heart Super Saver. I am. It's not that I'm going to stop using Red Heart Super Saver. However, oh, your father said 17.
Oh my god. He added an extra one there. He
He
meant
said
7.
he said 17. I think.
He you know my father, so forgetful. He added an extra one there. She cannot be more than 7. I refuse. Children are not allowed to age. It's not. I refuse to let this
Well, then
happen.
you're not allowed to age either. But here
I'm
you
not. I'm
are.
still
Here you
26.
are, 30 years old,
Stop.
making me feel old.
Stop.
Okay, 3.5. But what I was gonna say is that I was making that bag out of the Red
Mhm.
Heart Super Saver, that dumpling bag, and I
Yeah.
was knitting it, and the more I knit it, the less I didn't enjoy it. I want to make a dumpling bag, but I think I'm gonna use one of those patterns and crochet it. I don't have a problem crocheting with Red Heart Super Saver, but I
Oh,
think
you specifically meant you don't like knitting with the Red Heart Super
yeah,
Saver.
knitting. I think I specifically I don't like the knitting. I because the last few projects that I've actually knit have been with like a Lion brand or some sort of like really soft yarn, and just the 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 Red Heart just feels too stiff for knitting for me right now.
I can
And
see that.
I don't know if it's just because the Red Heart is stiff, or because also I've been using mainstays lately, and
Hmm.
mainstays, which is Walmart's cheapo brand, it doesn't come in as many colors as Red Heart, but if I could replace Red Heart with mainstays, I would, because mainstays is softer.
Hmm.
Not just soft as far as the texture across my fingers, which is another thing. Texture bothers my hands right now. That's why doing my hair is annoying. But not just the texture across my fingers, but like the drape.
Yeah, it's not
It,
super. It's not
it's not
flowy.
stiff. It's not stiff. It's more
Yeah.
flowy. mainstays is more flowy. It just doesn't come in as many colors. It's meant to be a very basic yarn. So you've got like black, white, red, gray, just like 5, 6 colors. It doesn't have a lot of
Hmm.
colors. So I think I'm going to pull that I feel like I'm working half projects more than I'm finishing anything, which is uncomfortable, but
So I feel that I still here. I can lean over right now and pull up. You have no idea what I'm about to pull out right now. Remember this infinity
I
scarf that I
remember.
thought that I could crochet in size 1 yarn?
Mhm.
I might just finish whatever row I'm on right now and cut this off, and this is just done.
Uh-huh. Cuz it
Because
looks done. It looks done. It looks done.
am I the eccentric art teacher?
Yes, you are the eccentric art teacher. And it looks done.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna cut this off and be done with it. I'm
And
gonna
be
finish the
done with
row and
it.
cut it off. Because and never in my life am I ever gonna. But see, the reason I don't want to just finish it off and cut it and be done with it, this is all I have left. This is all I have left.
So you feel like you just want to finish using that much yarn and be done with it.
But the
Well,
problem
maybe
is,
you'll
this is
maybe you'll
size
come back
one,
to
so
it.
it's so
Maybe you'll come back to it later and not be quite as annoyed with it.
maybe. But it is. This is already a $70 scarf,
Half.
and who is paying that? Okay, get back in this bag.
Half. Double. What am I doing here?
Double Dutch, double Dutch.
Oh, you heard that. I'm sorry.
Yes. What did you think I wasn't gonna hear?
I
What do you think
did.
is going on here? You have a microphone at your face? Is this why you don't like doing calls? Because you'll just like talk to yourself and think that the people on the calls can't hear you?
You are so rude. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, did you have anything else that you wanted to
I
show,
do.
mother?
Which involves what I have in my hand right now, but I was trying to get to a good stopping place.
Not you finishing the project in the classroom. Did you do last night's homework? Go take your homework first.
Yep, that's it.
Oh my
That's it.
goodness.
Okay, so I switched. Did I show you that? I did show you that project. That let me see if I can pull it back up. The hexagon.
Yes.
Let me see if I can pull a picture of it back up.
Ooh, I think I like this tail better. I did this one with the one on the bag that I showed you that's done was done with single crochets, and this one was done with half double crochets, which is what the rest of the
Uh-huh.
bag is done with, and it's
Uh-huh.
got more body.
Yeah.
Its tail got
Yeah.
more body yaddy.
Body yaddy yaddy. You mean like that mermaid in Italy?
Oh, that video is so funny. We need
There's a video. I haven't seen the video.
You haven't seen? There was a video of I think it was Dulce Sloan.
On the Daily Show? Talking
Yes.
about it on the Daily Show? Yeah,
Yes.
I saw that video. Yep, I saw
Is it Dulce Sloan or Dolce Sloan? How does she say it?
I don't know.
Because the word is Dolce. But
I haven't heard it out loud, so I don't know.
yeah, I can't recall how she says it.
But so this is what I'm working on.
Yes.
And the pattern says use a 6mm hook. So I made the first square with star, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
I made the first star with a 6mm hook.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is it. I finished. I didn't weave the ends in, so don't be making fun of me.
Well, zoom yourself back in so I can see it well, because we're off on the side.
Okay, but
okay.
So this is
cute.
This is the star. This is the 6mm. But as I was finishing it up, I was like, it feels sloppy. And I'm like, I wonder if I would like it better
if you blocked it.
If I went down a hook size.
Yeah, that was a joke. We don't block in
So
this house.
we don't block in this house. We do block sometimes. Although we use the reason we don't block is because we use acrylic yarn and it's kind of hard to block acrylic yarn. But
Also, who takes the time to block? We don't block in this house.
so I'm almost finished. I was trying to finish it so I could have a true comparison, but I didn't finish. I'm still in the black. But I went down to a 5 millimeter hook, and this is what I've got here. So I'm wondering, do you
I mean,
think
it looks a little neater, but then how many squares? How many stars are you gonna make?
you're supposed to
Like
make
how?
nine? You're supposed to make 19.
Because I feel like with the smaller hood, it's gonna be a decent bit smaller,
Yeah, this definitely will make a bigger blanket. This feels a little more.
and it'll be like a flowy blanket. Yeah.
This feels right now. This feels flowy. This this looks more like a neat square, but it doesn't feel quite as flowy. This feels a little bit more stiff.
Mm.
And this, when you hold them up to each other, this this one looks, you won't be able to see it, but this one is like, I don't have the rest of the edging on it, but it's like you see the blacks already started
Where the color
here
was before, yeah.
where the color is. So it's like a row, maybe a row smaller.
Hmm.
So each square is going to be a row smaller, maybe like an inch smaller or half an inch smaller than this square. The plus side is that this took me several evenings because I was reading the pattern. So this took me almost like 5 days to finish. This took me like 2 days
Hmm.
because I already know the pattern now. And it's like I barely have to look at the pattern to work on this now. So the rest of the squares, whichever size I go with, the rest of the
It'll be a
squares
lot faster.
will be quicker. But what do you think? Should I use the smaller? I'm not good at making
Well,
decisions.
how much yarn do you have? Do you have more of that variegated yarn, or are you going to use a different variegated yarn with it? Because that's what I'm wondering is if you.
This is the blanket that I still haven't taken apart yet.
Okay, so you've got all that. Okay.
Another blanket I haven't taken apart yet.
You are really trying to do something with that variegated yarn.
And this.
Okay, so I don't know. That still feels because I want to say do the bigger one
And
because I like.
by the way, this here, because your father was making something out of it and changed his mind, he put the strands together. So this is actually two strands.
Oh yeah, make the bigger one.
So this is a lot of yarn because I've had to pull the strands apart because I don't double strand anything.
Hmm. Make the bigger one because I
So
like I like the look of the bigger one. I was just worried about you
oh no, I'm
running out
not
of
gonna
yarn.
run out of yarn because I think I might have another skein that's not even unwrapped yet, hiding under the bed, in your father's
Yarn stash.
yarn stash. Because for in case we hadn't mentioned it on here, viewers, my husband went through. My husband is a very traditional person, but he did go through a period where he was interested in a lot of the needlework things that I do. So he has tried cross stitch and he has tried um, loom knitting, with those round nifty knitter looms.
Hmm.
He has done both until I think he'll never admit this, but I think at some point somebody may have said something to him like, "This is not a thing that men do."
Rude.
So because he doesn't do them anymore.
Rude.
Or it could just be that he was curious because I think when he saw me doing the Because even just the other week, not the other week, other month, when I was doing some scrubbies for your aunt Terry. You know, your aunt Terry goes through where she's like,
Mhm.
okay, I've used up all these scrubbies, and lady at the farmer's market doesn't sell them anymore.
How is
Can you
she
make me some
using
more?
up the scrubbies? Is what
Because
I'm trying to figure out.
they do tear up after a while. They do tear up after a while.
Maybe
Because
I
like
am just not doing enough dishes in my life.
probably not.
Because how are you using
Cause
up?
you forget her and her sister and her mother used to clean houses for a living, so
Oh, absolutely.
they are all about that cleaning. And she used to run a daycare in her
Oh
house,
yeah.
so she's all about that cleaning. So you know she cleans house way more than we do. You know, so she's all about the bleaching and all of that kind of stuff. So she will tear up some, but it's usually like once a year when she's to, worn through all her dish scrubbies and needs more.
Hmm.
And so I was last time she asked me for some, I was trying to make them on a nifty knitter loom to see if that made would go faster or
Yeah, because
easier or
the
something like
feeling of
that.
that scrubby
Yeah.
yarn is awful.
And
Nifty knitter loom.
no, I my brain just went off because I'm thinking I sent her some. I feel like I sent her some scrubbies and I didn't hear back from her whether she liked them or not. Because I used the different yarn. When you mentioned the
Mm.
yarn, I bought some of that
Like the
yarn
netting yarn.
from. No, I bought one from Homophobic Hobby Lobby
Mm.
that was that was supposed to be scrubby yarn, but it was in a yarn because you know when you buy the netting, it's basically like a strip of ribbon that you have to scrunch to actually
Yeah.
crochet with, and they have that made into a tube, so it's more like a yarn.
Yeah.
And so I bought some and I made her some scrubbies, but I don't know how they worked out. I have one of them downstairs that I've been using in the kitchen and I like it fine. It doesn't scrub really hard, but I don't think any of the scrubbies you buy are going to scrub really hard. No matter
Yeah.
what kind of yarn you use, they don't really scrub hard, but you just kind of have to get a Brillo pad or see I'm old Brillo pad. Uh,
Are you that old? I was literally just putting away Brillo pads at work today.
oh, okay. A Brillo pad or as the new girlies buy a scrub daddy, which I do have a scrub daddy at my sink, and it is it has fallen apart just about, but I've had it for several months. So
One of the TikTokers that I follow dresses as they do drag king makeup and they
uh-huh.
just dress as sexy mascots and they did a sexy scrub daddy like look. It was so good. I'll have to send it to you later.
Yes, you will have to send that to me. Which I like the scrub daddy, but I don't like it enough to pay $5 for it. I would just buy the dollar store scrubby things that we always buy. I don't
Hmm.
think it's anything special for me to pay $5 for. But so you think I should go with the bigger hook?
Yes.
Okay. So that's one square down, 18 to go, and I feel like I can go faster now that I know what to do. So
We are just off the rails today. It's
we are
already
we, we
almost
are
2 hours.
we are off the rails. So okay, we've oh god, I'm so hot. Okay, so are we done with all our crafty thoughts?
I believe so. I don't think I had anything else.
Okay. Do we want to move on to gaming or other media?
Ooh, I did I talk about Homestead Arcana last time
No,
we
and I had games I wanted to talk about too, so I was hoping we would move to gaming.
Yeah, let's do gaming.
Okay. I doubt we will get to both things, so let's move to gaming. Okay. So, have we mentioned Music League?
I don't think we've mentioned Music League in the chat in the thing yet. We've been playing it for weeks now.
Yeah.
For all months almost,
Months.
isn't
Yeah,
it?
months. Yeah. Yeah. So, I let me see if I can bring it up. I I was introduced to Music League in one of my Discord servers for one of the what's the word? What's the
Board
word?
games.
Yes, one of the board game podcasts that I listen to. They started up a Music League, and that was the first time I'd ever heard of it. Music League is a game that you play. You have to have Spotify,
Hmm.
and I think somebody said you have to have um, Spotify Premium
Premium. I
because I
I
feel like
don't think
I feel
so.
like one of the people one of your friends, I'm not naming people, but one of your friends said they couldn't play because they didn't have premium.
Maybe, yeah. I was thinking that the same friend, but I thought that they could play. But now that you're mentioning it, I think you're right. You have to. I think you have to have premium to be able to play.
Which, thanks to my lovely son, we have a Spotify family plan. Um,
Thanks, Isaac.
so basically, Music League is this game where you start. The only thing I don't like about Music League is that once you finish your rounds, that league is over, and then you have to start up a new league if you want to play again.
Hmm.
I would rather just like keep like our current league is called Sanders Family Throwdown. I'd like to just keep that league and just add different rounds to it or have a new
Well, I think you can.
round each week or whatever.
I think you can add rounds even once the league is started.
I guess you
So
can do that.
we'll have to talk to Isaac about that. So like once we start getting close to the end, we can
Add different rounds.
yeah. What
So
am I
basically what it is you somebody starts up the league and they make rounds where you have to pick a song that fits the theme. Like the last round of the league that we just had was mashups,
which I
where
forgot to vote in.
which you need to put a mashup or a medley in. And so you grab your copy the link for the song from Spotify and put it in Music League. Okay. And then everybody does that. And then Music League makes a playlist that you can listen to on Spotify. And then after you listen to this playlist, then you can vote. The person who's created the league, they set the parameters of like how many votes you have to share among the people or whatever. And then whoever gets the most votes, they win for that round because more people voted for their song. And you can make comments before you can make comments that people can see before they vote, or you can make comments but set it so they don't see the comments until after they voted.
Because
I
part of it is that the thing is anonymous. Like what we do is we'll put our songs in and we'll usually try to guess like, oh, I think that's Mommy's song or oh, I think this is Isaac's song. But it's the songs are like once everybody puts their songs in, it scrambles them in the playlist, and so it's anonymous who put what song in. So you're just voting based on song instead of based on who put the song in. So like if you're playing with strangers or if you're playing with people that like you don't know as well, like we all know each other, so we kind of have a vibe of who put what song. But
mhm,
it's made anonymous. So you can put your comment after so that you can say something that you think will give away whose song it is, but you want to make a comment on the song, or you can put a comment before if it's vague enough that you think that people won't like maybe you want to explain something about the song or something like that that you think won't like give away.
uh-huh. So, I mean, it's just a fun we like sharing this to me, this is a fun way for our family to share our musical taste amongst each other. The funny thing is that the first group that I played, the group that introduced me to this game that I played with, I think they assumed that I was an older lady. Um because and I feel like I'm older than the hosts of the podcast, but I don't think I'm that much older than them. But I think they think that I was in my 70s
Mm.
because I was throwing in songs um like for they had a not safe for work round, and I threw in a song from what's her name? Lucille. I forget her last name, but she was all the rage all over TikTok and Twitter for a minute because she recorded in the 1930s, but her songs are dirty AF.
Mm.
And so I threw her in. I threw a lot of songs in from the 60s and the 70s and the 40s. And I think they think I was old. And so, because they were making comments like, this isn't really my vibe, but I think it's really cool. And then in the Discord, somebody said, I know, but nobody was really voting for my songs.
Mm.
And the guy who runs the Discord was like, I know nobody's voting for your songs, but we're really enjoying them. You really should continue to play in our league. And I'm like, that when I saw that comment, I'm like, oh, they're being super polite to me.
Yeah,
They think I'm old. I mean, I know I'm old, but
but not like old,
I'm not like
not
grandma's.
elderly.
Yeah, I'm not like 80 years old. Show respect to your grandma old. But anyway, we have fun with it. So, it might be a fun thing you can do with your family if everybody's got Spotify. That's the only other thing about it. Even though this company's not really owned by Spotify or anything, Spotify is the only way that you can share a song link
Yeah.
because they make a playlist out of it. So it's really heavily dependent on Spotify. So which leaves people out if they don't use Spotify, but luckily we do, so we enjoy it. Okay, um I'm going straight down the list unless you want to do your thing next.
Um.
Homestead Arcana.
Yeah, I could do Homestead Arcana, but look,
Oh, so cute.
I think I like the bigger tail better. Let me see if I can pull up the other one.
Oh, is that the double crochet tail?
Yeah, so the blue is single crochet, and the white is let's see if I can hold them separate. The white is half double crochet. It's
And
just a bit like fuller.
so you like the white tail better?
I think so.
Yeah, yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, it's
I like
just a bit
I
fuller
like
because this feels like it's a little flat, whereas this one feels like
yeah,
it's got a bit more like shape to it.
yeah. I like the white tail better too.
Now I just got to make a strap for it, which I will start momentarily. But Homestead Arcana, I am really enjoying. So Homestead Arcana is currently on Xbox Game Pass. Um, and I was just looking for like another like just a super chill game that I could play. And Wayne actually recommended it to me because he regularly will go through the Game Pass and just like look at new games that are getting added because we both have Game Pass, and so we like so that we don't because we just don't buy games really. Like we buy
Mhm.
games every once in a while, but with games being $70,
Good
we don't really
God.
buy games. So we just use the Game Pass. But it just got added a little while ago and it is pretty fun. It's not optimized for my system, and so because Wayne has the newer Xbox, I've still got the Xbox One, whereas he's got the Xbox Series S or whatever the newest Xbox is, and so he would be able to download it. I can't download it, but they have set up a thing where if it's not optimized for your Xbox, you can play it on the cloud and it'll stream the game and it saves all your progress and everything, which is really cool. So it streams the game and saves your progress. So I can still play it. It's just like there's maybe a slight lag every once in a while. And if I've got bad, like if there's a terrible storm or something and the internet's not having fun, then it'll like my game will go out. But it saves pretty frequently. So I like because I've had it crash on me twice, but it saves pretty
'Cause I know
frequently. So I don't have to
you've
worry about
had problems with gaming from the cloud before where it like didn't save your game and it totally
there was
messed
one
up for
game that
you.
it did that for, and I have not played that game since. And I really liked that game, but I
What
got
game was
so
it?
far and it locked me out. It's it's the boat game. It's what is
Spiritfarer?
not Spiritfarer. It's a different boat. It's a fishing game. Hang on, I'm
Oh.
pulling up my Xbox app on my phone. But while I'm pulling that up, but Homestead Arcana, I really enjoyed. The plot is that the world is covered in this like terrible miasma, and the like people used to be able to like go out and walk and farm and like travel and stuff, but the miasma is just getting like worse and worse. And so there are a few towns that are like high up in the mountains, like away from the miasma, and they're like just surviving while they can until the miasma kind of overtakes everything. And so there are like witches and like younger people who will go out closer to the miasma, like go out of town closer to the miasma, and they will farm and gather things because they like can do things to keep them safe. And so they will go out close to the miasma and farm and gather things and send them back to town, because in town there's no like farmland, there's no nothing. And so you send stuff back. But I but as you're playing, so and there's a little black cat and he is your familiar, and he it's so adorable. I was unprepared. He talks and he like, 'cause I was expecting it just to be like a little cat. I was not expecting any voice acting. Fully like the characters are fully voice acted, except for your character doesn't speak. But the rest of the characters are fully voice acted. And he is like, he has got the most like gravelly southern drawl voice, this cat. And I was unprepared for it because I was expecting just a tiny cat with like a little high pitch, and he sounds like a country singer. Like it was so, I was unprepared, but it is so adorable. But you go in and you're like, you see she's putting on a mask. Like as you go, you like find different things in the miasma, and the familiar, the cat, will tell you like, don't go out there, don't go messing with stuff. And he's like hundreds of years old. So he was the familiar, he's your familiar, but he was also the familiar for your aunt and your like grandmother, and I think great grandmother as well. So he's been in your family for a long time. And your aunt also was living, you're basically right near where your aunt lived when she was down here. And she was also like trying to find ways to like fight back the miasma. And he's like, don't go being a hero, don't mess with this stuff. Like we couldn't figure anything out. You just need to make stuff and send it back to your family. But of course, you're going to go out there and look for stuff. And so you're finding ways to like kind of fight back the miasma. Also, you can customize the costumes and it's adorable. And hairstyles, they have afro, they've got like long fro, and then they've got like they've got afro puffs, they've got locks, and then they've got pulled back locks.
Cool.
We got options, but
Cool.
it's really fun. It's what am I trying to say? It doesn't feel overwhelming to try to maintain everything. Like it feels like, I feel like I'm very easily maintaining things, and it's very easy to like keep up with what's going on there. I think the only like, in general, I feel like you would like this game, but the parts of going into the miasma would be hard for you. Because like out on the farm, you can just walk around, gather stuff, it's fairly easy, and like making the like potions and making the recipes pretty easy. But when you go into the miasma, like if you go into the miasma at the beginning, you immediately start taking damage. And so you've got to like get in there, go quick. And I'm doing this because it'll give you like a heartbeat, and it'll start like thumping.
Oh,
And like
wow.
you can see your like health bar just like going down. And so you've got to go in, grab what you need real quick, and get out until you find the mask, like the plague doctor mask. And then you've got a timer up in the top. And so when you first get the plague doctor mask, you can be in there for like 3 minutes. And so you've got to like figure out where you're gonna go, get in there fast, and then get out. And then which I still feel like you would be able to handle, but once you get further, there's like, you can see her like going over spikes, and there's like enemies that can attack you. And so you have to manage like using different potions and like timing them so you can switch the potions at the right time, and like taking health so you don't die while you're like, and all kinds. It gets kind of chaotic once you get further in, but not like, it's not super hard. It took me a little bit to figure out how to handle being out there, because I was playing it as if you go in there, you use a little bit of potion that you've got, and you like explore around. And then I realized with this mask, I don't have enough time to get to where I need to get to the next section of the game. And so what I had to do was because the food that you make will refill your health like instantly. Like you go into your menu and it pauses, and then whatever you eat right there will fill up your health instantly. And so what I have to do, and it does that the same thing for your mana. And so what I realized that I have to do, which is different than how I would normally play this kind of game, I go in and I like try to get past the monsters or whatever. And there's a special spell that you use that makes you invisible to the monsters. So you go in, but you have to keep an eye on your mana because as you're using the spell, the mana goes down. And then right when it gets to the bottom of your mana, you pause and go into your inventory menu and eat a few things to bring your mana back up. And then you walk a little bit further and then you pause and then you eat a few things to bring your mana back up and you walk a little bit further. And that's kind of how you get through that section. Because if you just like go and then get to a safe space and wait, then the timer on your mask will run out and then you have to worry about your mana running out and your health running out because you don't have like clean air to breathe through the filter. So, but all that to say, it is very fun. I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying the like story of like because there's like an academy that was studying how to get rid of the miasma, and no one really knows how the miasma started, and so you're kind of getting the lore of that. And then there's also the story of like your aunt who is living out here, and there's a mysterious figure. There's like a mysterious person living out there because like after like the second time that I went out in the miasma and I like fixed something, I came out and then it went into a cutscene, which didn't normally happen. It went into a cutscene and your character like turns and looks back at the miasma and there's a figure just kind of like floating there staring at you. And I'm like, who is that? And so, and I've not seen any more of this person since. So I'm trying to figure out who it is. Like, who is this living? Because you like, if you just standing in the miasma with no mask or anything, or even with the mask, once your filter runs out, you're just taking hits and you will die. You will just like out. Like not die. Like it's the way that the familiar explains it is like I was standing out there waiting for you to come out of the miasma. All of a sudden you washed ashore like you were on the beach and you didn't have any of your stuff. And so I like it. That's how it explains to like get kicked out or whatever.
So
It's
Homestead
fun.
Arcana is available on Game Pass and um what's the
Ronald
word?
says he's watching us on his TV.
Steam. It's available on Game
Yes.
Pass and Steam, and it's $20 on Steam.
Oh, that's not that much.
And part of your Game Pass, we don't say free on Game Pass because you're paying for Game Pass, but it's part of
Yes.
your Game Pass thing. Well, of course, you had to entertain Ronald. That's what you do when you have guests. We don't expect you to watch us. Remember, we're background.
Yeah.
We're background noise. Don't worry about it. Okay, so
And I'm
next,
looking up that other game while you're talking.
what other game?
There was another game. Remember, I was talking about.
Oh,
I was playing on
oh,
the cloud. Yeah.
okay. So why don't we quickly talk about my Battle of the Clicker games, since that's the oldest thing on the list for me. Okay, I played 2 clicker games since the last time we talked about games.
Mm-hmm.
One was Monopoly Go.
Oh yeah. I
Oh,
remember talking
thank
about
you,
this.
Ronald. That is so nice of you. Those are the pictures that I colored from my Quirkle, and I already have pretty much decided to put the other Quirkle book on my wish list, on my Amazon
Do
wish list.
it.
Hopefully, my kids will buy me the Masterpieces Quirkle so I can put some other stuff up there. But I don't know if you were watching, but I have my Audrey Hepburn that I still have to put up there. So I will tape her up there. So hopefully, Audrey will be up there next week. My Audrey Hepburn goes up there. They're so fun to color. They're so fun to color. Even though I hesitate to call them art, they are so fun to color. Um, well, they are art for the guy who made them, not art for me, but you know what I mean.
It's still art.
Um, so anyway, back to gaming. I um I played Monopoly Go because one of your friends who is in our gaming group
Mm-hmm.
suggested Monopoly Go. So even though it's kind of a clicker game, I'm like, I'm not a clicker game person, but let me go ahead and give this thing a try. And it's, I mean, maybe it's because of the theme, but I just don't feel like I get anything out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Basically, what it is that you it's looks like the board game, and you but all you do is click, it rolls the dice for you. There's never I'm supposed this I didn't feel I never feel the need to spend money in these games anyway. But you roll the dice, you I'm trying to see if there's a video on here. You roll the dice, you collect money, you use that money to build up. It has different cities that you're supposedly going to on the map. And so once you build up all your monuments in one city, then it moves you on to the next city. But in the meantime, other players can come and attack depending on where they land on the board. They can attack things in your city or steal money from your bank. And but they give you so many extra roles to try to entice you to keep playing in the game longer that I never feel the urge to
Yeah, it
spend
feels like
money on the game.
it feels like the kind of game that would be a lot more fun if you like regularly see in person the people that you're playing with.
Exactly. Exactly. Because the way your friend was describing it, him and all his friends at work play it. And
Hmm.
so they go back and forth attacking each other or whatever. But see, since I don't know really anybody who's playing it, and the game randomly gives you people to attack. It's not like you can specifically say, I mean, if you attacked me, it's going to say in my feed the next time I open the game, okay, Maya attacked you. Do you want to get revenge on her? And then I can click and then I can go back and attack one of your things. But I just don't feel any reason to do it. I mean, I do it because it's there, but there's no, like it like you have 40 rolls of the dice, but you can put a multiplier on there for it to roll for it to use like 10 rolls at once. And if you use 10 rolls at once, you use up your rolls faster, um but you get more money if you land on the space that gives you money.
Hmm.
I and when I was playing it, I played it for like 4 days. And I ended up I would get up in the morning, I'd open it up, and I would set it on 10 and let it just and set it on auto roll. So it would just keep doing its thing while I kind of like when you play Cookie Clicker back in the day and you
Yeah,
got to a point where you could set it to automatically click.
I feel like it feels like that is the point of clicker games is for you to get to the point where you no longer have to click. Like you start and do all the clicking,
Uh-huh.
and then the
Uh-huh.
goal of clicker games is to get to the point where you no longer have to click,
Exactly.
which is
And
weird.
so there was just nothing there for me. Now, another clicker game that I have played, which I'm not under any illusion that this game is any more worthwhile than the other one. But for some reason, I play this game sometimes while I'm watching TV. I don't spend a lot of time playing it, but I play it while I'm watching TV. And this is a game called Blush Blush.
Called what?
Blush Blush. It is a dating game,
Of course it is.
a dating sim,
Of course it is.
and it is it is silly AF. Let me see if I can rewind this to the beginning. There we go. And basically, there's some silly magic that gets out, and your character has turned a bunch of men into animals.
Of course. You know, as you do.
And only, as it says here, only the power of love can break the spell and free them from their curse.
Of course.
So, are you busy Friday night? So, and it's
Oh, this
each
art is
character,
cute.
Yeah, the art is cute, and they have there's minimal voice in there. Like like a lot of the commentary in it repeats, but like the first time a character says something, he says it out loud, and then the
Hmm.
rest of the time it's just the words of it.
Ronald, this sounds slightly scandalous.
Oh, well, I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that. Or I should say I haven't gotten to that part yet, but I can.
These characters are cracking me
Because
up.
there is a not safe for work version of it. There's a girl version of it where all the characters are female.
Hey,
I'm playing the blush blush where all the characters are male. Um and blush blush is sort of PG, okay? Because after you finally turn them into, you do things like, I'm trying to see where did you go?
where did you go? Where's the yarn I was looking for? There it is.
Ah, I see you are a discerning swiper, with no
Oh,
time to waste on chauvinist pigs. But pig though I am, before you swipe away forever, please
why did he come in
hear
so
my story.
suave for no
For the
reason?
truth is, I was once a man who befell a terrible curse and became the swine you see before you. I mean, look at that man bun. Have you ever seen one so beautiful? Now, the only
Oh, I
thing
love
that can
this.
break this curse is the power of love. So, will you help me, Carino? If
This
so,
is
you must woo.
so amazing.
This is my first time
Seduce
hearing
me.
this.
It's
And do you mind if I take a
hilarious.
deal? I do not have pockets right now. So silly.
Because I don't
Oh,
have the
also there are many other beautiful animals in need of help.
there is
They're just a little less beautiful than me. So maybe help them later?
I haven't gotten to the black guy yet
Yes, I can
either.
sense the
This is
power in your
hilarious.
heart.
I love it so
Come,
much.
find
Because
all of us in Blush
you start out
Blush.
trying to help the one
I
guy,
love
and then
the way you download my game.
when you get to a certain point with the one guy, then it opens up a second guy, and
Mhm.
then you're helping both of them at the same time. And then it moves on to a third guy, and so
Ah,
on and so on. Stop talking. And so on and so on. The
Ronald
okay,
says,
yeah.
I'm not sure about this.
This is the screen that I wanted to show you. Let me see if I can get it full screen. Nope. Oh, that's as big as I can get it. So basically, you have like that top guy, Nim, is the first one you start with.
Hmm.
So I'm down to like maybe the fourth or fifth guy. But he starts out as an animal, and then as you give him gifts and as you work it, because if you look at the stats show you that they like a girl who works a certain job, and they like certain hobbies that you have. Like they
Hmm.
like if you're passionate, so then you have to do the hobby that brings you passion. And they have certain dates that you go on, and so it's basically a clicker game, because when you take them on the date, and this is your person here that you can kind of it's vaguely female or vaguely male. You
Hmm.
can give it a vaguely female body or vaguely male body, but you don't really dress it or anything. You can put glass eyeglasses on it and change the hair a little bit, but there's not a lot there.
Hmm.
But you basically like the I'm not explaining this well.
Well, while you're trying to figure out how to explain this, Ronald says, I still need to hear about this NSFW version. That's alarming.
Well, see, I've learned about this game on a podcast called Cozy Game Club, where this girl on that podcast has been playing this game for over a year. It's just her nightly routine to play a little bit of this game every night. And that's the kind of game it is, where you're not really paying that much attention to it. You read the funny little text that the guy says, because some of the comments are funny. And
Hmm.
but then there's a cell
We
phone.
Ooh,
are
we need to
cursed.
mute this.
Yeah, there's a cell phone in the top right corner. And so in addition to the guys that are animals. Oh, this is free to play, by the way, on Steam. Now,
Hmm.
I don't know if it's on other platforms, but it's free to play on Steam. And that's the only reason I tried it out because it's free. And there is in-game where you can unlock a not safe for work, where the pictures that the text voice send you I, are
Scandalous.
are a little bit more scandalous. And this same company makes Crush Crush, which is girls.
Hmm.
And there's also a, let's see, what is it? I'm playing Blush Blush. There's Crush Crush, but I think there's a different name when you move into the not safe for work one, but it rhymes with blush and crush, but I can't remember what it's called. And the phone flings are the part where the guys on the phone call you, and those guys aren't animals anymore, but
Mm.
they're trying to flirt with you too.
Okay.
And you just have to keep getting your money up to unlock more bits to um to unlock more of the story.
Okay.
So far I've unlocked my first person, so he's not an animal anymore, and I've unlocked my second person. And but there's also a thing called reset in the game, where if you reset the game, then there's certain parts of the game that you get to keep. So it moves faster. If you reset
Okay.
the game, then you get back to where you were faster. And there's certain characters later down on the row that you can only unlock if you've reset the game a couple times.
Okay.
Because at first I wasn't going to reset the game, but then there's a couple that you can only unlock if you reset the game a couple times. But every time you reset the game, then it moves you back up to where you were faster. I don't know
Hmm.
what the purpose of the reset is, but it's
Hmm.
a thing that you do several times in the game. And there's different, like you see, there's different limited time events in the game and what have you. It's a silly game.
Yeah, this sounds like a fun, just silly, casual game to play. Like just to have something to play.
It's a silly game, and it is technically a clicker, just like the what am I trying to say? It's
Monopoly Go.
like the Monopoly Go. It is technically a clicker,
But
just
this
like
is
the Monopoly Go.
but there's a
But
difference between just a clicker and because Monopoly Go does not have a story, whereas
exactly,
this has a story. This is a
this has a,
dating sim.
this has a story of you trying to turn your people back into people instead of animals and stuff like that. So if I decide to spend the $1.99 on the not safe for work version, I will let you know.
Okay. This makes me want to go play Boyfriend Dungeon again.
See, I enjoyed Boyfriend Dungeon, but I could not. Okay, I enjoyed Boyfriend Dungeon, but I could not. The dungeony part.
Yeah.
See, this gives me story, but there's nothing that involves my reflexes that
Hmm.
I need to worry about.
Yeah, because Boyfriend Dungeon got hard at some parts. Because I remember we were playing Boyfriend Dungeon together for a while, and it got hard at some parts.
So, and I was trying to see. Let's see. I'm not even gonna link Monopoly Go because it's boring, but I'll put a link for Blush Blush in
I
the.
mean, if they want to play Monopoly Go, they can look it up.
They can
It
find
is it is in the App Store.
it. Okay, let's see. Okay. Yes, I'm old enough to view this. Okay, so it's called Blush Blush Uncut,
Uncut.
and it is $6.99 for the Blush Blush Uncut. Contains alternate scenes for each boy's final lover level.
Oh my goodness.
Because yeah, because there is a level. I don't know if I've reached the final level yet. I know that there is a level once you've turned them back into a boy. I don't like calling them boys because I am 57 years old.
Ronald said they nasty for that.
But there is a level where they once they turn when they're no longer animal anymore and they're back to being a man, then they send you a selfie of them reclining on the couch in a pair, shirtless with a pair of basketball shorts on.
That
And
sounds like, oh, there was a game that I played. Oh my goodness. What was that game? But there was a game that I played that was very similar. It was another like clicky dating sim, but it was like a Bejeweled, where
uh-huh.
you what is this game? But it was girls and they're oh, the whole premise was that you're a guy who like is terrible at talking to
I love
girls
the
and terrible
moment
at dating. And
with
so hmm?
full nudity, masturbation, and post-coital imagery.
Goodness.
Sexually suggestive outfits are added to this version, including a birthday suit mode that shows each boy uncensored in full nudity.
Goodness. Oh my goodness.
Alternate text dialogue in some cases that has more sexually explicit and mature wording and audio. So I don't know if I'm going to spend $7 on that.
There is a game that I played though, and I think it was on Steam. I think it was back when Ronald said he's buying it.
Ronald,
Ronald, let us know how it is.
Ronald.
But there was a game that I played. I'm looking it up. But it's a similar game. The plot of the game is that you're a guy who is, oh my goodness, Wayne calling, and I'm still streaming. Um, but you're a guy who's terrible at talking to girls, and so you're like, I'm never gonna get a girl. Oh no, what am I supposed to do? And then this wingman fairy
Ronald says
busts
he's
in.
kidding. We don't want to defame his personality. He's
Yeah, right,
kidding.
Ronald. But there's this like wingman fairy like busts into your house and she's like, you're terrible at talking to girls, so I'm gonna help you. And so she like, you go and she'll like coach you through talking to these girls. And so while you're having a conversation with the girls, you basically play a game of Bejeweled. And when you play the game of Bejeweled, then that's how you like flirt with the girls, and you like choose like dialogue options of what you want to say to them. And there's all these like hot girls, but the like when you get to the end of a girl's like storyline or story arc or whatever, then you get like a cute, sexy picture of them in their like lingerie or whatever. It was like honey cam something. I can't
Oh,
remember.
honey, I thought that's what you were describing, honeycam.
Yeah, it was a fun, cute little game, and that one also I think has an NSFW version. I just played it for the cute little because it was when I was on a kick of I just want to play some dating sims right now because it's just fun to do the like dialogue options, and some of them are so cheesy and ridiculous. Like I saw somebody posted on TikTok, they found a taxes dating sim. Did I send
Yes,
you that
yes,
video?
yes, 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 yes.
Where it's like a
Yes, I've
dating
heard
sim
of the
and
taxes dating sim.
yeah, and the girl will like
And
talk to you like,
it really does your taxes.
yes, which is
It really does
crazy.
your taxes that you can really turn in.
I want to do it. I love dating sim so much, and that is the funniest thing to me because she'll be like, "So, like, were you the only person in your household last year, or did anyone else live with you?" And I'm like, it's so funny.
So goofy.
Ronald says that makes him feel awkward. I'm sorry, Ronald. We can stop talking about our dating sims, but it was so funny.
I guess I'm not talking about my next game then.
Ooh, what was your next game?
Okay, let's move on to this next one. Do we want to talk about a game or do we want to talk about a little bit of theory for a second?
Well, now I'm curious. What is the
Okay,
theory?
on my list, I had a gaming thought the other day. Are men more serious about strategy in their games?
Mm,
Because I have noticed when I'm on a couple discords for BGA games.
Mm-hmm.
And I started following this. I also started following this one guy on YouTube. It's an Australian guy and his French girlfriend, and
Oh,
they
Ronald says he's about to head out. Bye, Ronald. Thanks for hanging with us. Sorry we embarrassed you talking about dating Sims.
thanks for hanging, Ronald. Thanks for being patient with us. Um, so basically, I have found that when these guys, like when I watch their video streams, they talk serious about, well, like I'll talk about, oh yeah, I like that game, it's pretty, or I like the theme of that game, and that's as deep as I go when I talk about a game,
Mm-hmm.
Especially a board game. But they get heavy into, well, if you do this strategy of s- building this first and taking these cards first, then you'll be able to take these cards next, and then this is how you'll be able to win, and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, that is way too deep for me, dude. I just like the game because it's pretty and it's fun. But that's just way too deep for me. But I have noticed that and it's usually I never see female first of all, the few times I see females talking about board games, I could count on one hand.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I rarely see them. I can't even remember ever seeing them talk about like deep strategy when
Mm-hmm.
playing with the game. I may hear them talk about, this game was difficult to teach or this game was difficult to understand,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't ever see or I like the components of this game or that game. And I don't want to stereotype us because I'm sure there are very smart women who are very good at the strategy and stuff. I'm not that girl.
For me, it depends on the game because I'm competitive. I want to win. I broke down crying in the middle of a game of Ticket to Ride because y'all were steamrolling me for no reason. I I will I'm a competitive girly, but I'm also not good at strategy is the issue.
Mhm.
Like I want to do the strategies, and when I find strategies that I think work for me,
Mhm.
then I will use them, but I am
Same.
not really good at them is the issue. Like that is just not how my brain cells work. Whereas when I play with Wayne, whenever we play Red Dragon Inn, which is one of his favorite games that we have. He very specifically will pick certain characters, and I will tell people, I'm like, we never let him pick his character first. And I will tell people this is the character that he always plays because he the strategy, blah 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 blah,
Mhm.
because he is good at strategizing things
Mhm.
and just winning the game. And that is something that carries over not just in board games but in D&D. He is
Mhm.
absolutely, because for D&D, for me, I'm a role play girly. I
Mhm.
combat is fun sometimes, especially if I'm playing a melee character and I get to hit somebody and do some big damage and stuff. But for me, the big fun of playing Dungeons and Dragons is the role play and talking to the different characters and talking to each other. Whereas for him, he loves the combat of D&D, and so do several of the other people in our groups love the combat of D&D, and so he very much makes it a point to min max his characters and make them
Uh-huh.
super powerful and stuff. Whereas I have fully given my character a mad handicap in the game because I thought it would be cute for my story. So when you're playing D&D, um if you're a spellcaster, the only way to get your spells back, and we're playing Pathfinder and 5e. If anybody comes in the chat, don't you be fussing at me over rules and stuff. This is how we play. But the only way to get all of your spells back is to have a full rest, which means you need to sleep overnight and then you get your spells back. Otherwise, you have expended the energy that you have and you cannot cast those. Once you've cast the spells, you cannot cast them again. So the only way to get your spells back is to have a full rest. I have created my character. I created a hummingbird Aarakocra, which is an Aarakocra is a bird person. I created a hummingbird Aarakocra because I know one bird fact, that is hummingbirds don't sleep normally. They will fly, fly, fly until they experience torpor, which is their body knocking them out. Like they do not actively go to sleep like other animals. They will go and go and go until their body forces them to pass out on the spot. And so I have given that to my character as like a curse, like a medical condition, almost like narcolepsy almost. And so my character, like which I need to be able to cast spells to be able to do things in the game, I cannot sleep on command. And so I will be awake for days on end and just no spells, nothing. Because I was like, this will be cute for my character. Whereas I told that to Wayne and he's like, what if you pass out in the middle of a battle? What if you pass out while we're flying a spaceship? What if and I'm like, it would be funny, I guess. And he's like,
exactly.
You're going to
You picked it because it was a fun, interesting fact, or it was cute, and he's thinking of all the strategic ways
Yes.
that this could go wrong.
Yes.
Yeah. I went the closest I get to strategy in games. I'm just gonna mention this and then we can move on, I guess. The closest I get to strategy in games is that I have habits. I don't really have strategies. Like for instance, when I play Can't Stop Express on Board Game Arena, it's a dice game, okay, where you basically are trying to fill up your what's the word? What's the word?
Bowl, cup, bag, train.
You're trying to fill up
trailer.
your pad. I'm trying to see if I've got a game of it going that I can show you. But basically you're trying to fill up your pad. And so they roll the dice and you have to pick the combinations that work best. And my habit is always to start. I do have a game.
I hope the people you're playing against are watching.
But this is a no hidden information, so everybody's seeing the same thing. So like these are the dice you see across the top. Those are the dice that have been rolled.
This game is
right.
ugly.
It is. But I've played it so much that I don't even notice it anymore. These are the dice across the top that have been rolled, and so since I picked 3, 2, and 5 as my 5th die, then those die will be pulled out, and then whatever combinations can be made with the other 4 dice are the ones that I get to use. So out of the 2s, I can use either a 9-7 or a 12-4. That means on my scorecard here, if I use the 12, now 12 hasn't been filled in yet, so then I will immediately lose 200 points. The first time I use 12. And then I don't get those 200 points back until I use 12 4 more times.
Oh my goodness.
And 12 is a harder one to get. This game is the closest I come to having any kind of strategy. I have figured out that 7s are the easiest to get. That's why they're only 30 points. Because what you do is you lose 200 points and then you fill that space 4 more times. When you get to the C in the middle, that's when you get your 200 points back. And then you don't start getting points, so you start filling in the spaces on the other side of the C.
Okay.
And for a 7, you only get 30 points each time you fill in the side on the other side of the C. Okay. So like my minimal strategies are I always try to pick a combination where I've already lost 200 points the first time. Like right now, I would pick that 9 and 7 because I've already lost 200 points on that one. So I can't lose it again. So that's helping to fill that one up. And 7's an easy one because you get 7s a lot. I wouldn't pick 8 and 7 because I'm going to lose 400 points filling both of those up. You see what I'm saying? So that is as close as I get to a strategy. That's the end of strategy for me. Other than if there's a double, I always go for a double. Like if there was a set where I get 9 and 9, I would pick that one first. Or 7 and 7 or whatever. I pick the doubles first.
This is already more strategy for me. I would need to play this game to understand what you're doing.
But everybody gets the same dice, but it depends on which one, like when you are first filling out your card, like if you pick out a two on your very first turn, then two gets filled out in your little corner where it says fifth dice. And
Mhm.
now every time you pick a two after that, it marks off a box. And then the first one of these rows that gets filled up, then your game is over.
Okay.
So, like right now, I have two boxes filled in two, but I only have one box filled in three and five. So, right now, I would prefer to go for three, but three is not going to help me because that eight and seven is going to take 200 points, and that 12 and three is going to take 200 points, or 400
I
points, I should say.
I think I understand this. A lot of this I think is going over my head because I'm not playing the game.
Yeah, we should play that on Sunday.
Okay.
I've never played it with you guys because I think dice games are dull. I like this game for myself,
Mhm.
but playing in a group, I think dice games are dull. That's why I never recommend this game or Yahtzee or Indian Chief
Mhm.
because they're all dice games.
Yeah, I remember
And
that
I,
one time Tyler recommended Yahtzee, and I was like, "What?"
yeah, and we played it. I don't like Yahtzee. If I'm going to play a dice game, I would rather play Can't Stop Express or Indian Chief. If I'm going to
Mhm.
play or Spots. Spots is a dice game, but it
Spots is
feels
fun.
yeah, Spots is fun and it's pretty. But so anyway, that was just my thought.
Yeah,
Men and
I
men and strategy. I should have brought this up while Ronald was here so he could have a comment, but
I have
I
one more thought about that. I feel like part of it also is because um the idea of of gamer, like there's a weird like gamer culture. This may not be so much in board games, but I feel like people guys who play board games probably also play some video games and stuff like that.
mm,
The like in gamer
I
culture.
have found at least the people I encounter, I have found board game guys to be nicer
Yeah.
than video
Oh
game
yeah,
guys.
because video game guys will like they talk and chat and they like shit talk each other and stuff all the time, and
Mhm.
they'll like shit talk like people are playing against them. I've walked in and heard Wayne saying some mad shit to people, and I'm like, what happened? And he's like, they didn't come res me, and I'm like, what? This is some stuff, but
Yeah, I
and
I haven't seen I mean, I've jumped in on Twitch in games where I am the only woman there, and I have not everybody's been very polite to me.
mhm. Yeah, because I feel like board games aren't as serious, but I feel like some of the stuff carries over of like in gaming culture, it feels like guys are meant to, and this could just be like the patriarchal society we live in or whatever, but guys are, I think it's expected of guys to be more serious about games and to be more like serious with what they're doing, because if a guy like comes in and plays a game and like isn't as serious and like doesn't do as well or whatever, he will get fucking ragged on
Mm,
by all the other guys, because I've come in and heard like either people ragging on Wayne or him and the buddies ragging on somebody else over some stuff that they do. They will get like fucking, and so they have to teach themselves to be better at these things so that they're not on the short end of that stick. Whereas girls, when they're gaming, that doesn't happen as much. Like girls are just more laissez-faire. Like it doesn't mean that girls aren't serious, but they like, I feel like there's not as much shit talk that goes on when
mhm,
girls are gaming. And I feel like that is also the reason why a lot of guys think that girls like aren't gamers. There's the thing of like girls aren't gamers, even though like to be a gamer you have to play and enjoy games, which like lots of like cozy gamers and people like that are gamers. They are girls playing games, but people consider them not gamers because they're not playing like
mhm,
hardcore like first person shooters and stuff like
mhm.
that, because they're not playing the quote unquote serious games.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I feel like that
Yeah.
was a lot of rambling.
No, that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. Okay, I need to get a beverage because I did not eat food.
A bevy.
So, can you my beverage is just right off screen. If you can just vamp for a second while I go get my water.
Absolutely, I can. Go
Thank
get
you,
your water.
lovely.
I am still working on this mermaid bag. I'm going to pull it up again. So I'm still working on this mermaid bag. And you guys probably saw me a minute ago frogging not once, but twice the strap for this bag. Because the way the pattern tells you to make the strap for the bag is that you attach the yarn on the side and then you just do rows back and forth going up here and then attach it. But that is a pain in my tuchus because every time you switch, you have to flip the entire bag over to turn the row, and that's a pain in the butt and I hate it. And so I took it off and I was like, okay, I'll just do a row of like 5 or 6 stitches here in my hand and then flip it. I don't like turning my work that much. Having to turn the work over and over for the length of a strap, I did like 10 rows or something and I was like, I am going to shoot something. And so what I'm doing now is I'm just crocheting the length of, and it's not going to look quite as pretty, but this will help me get this done so I can sell this bag. So I am crocheting the length of the strap that I want, and then I'm just going to do like 4 or 5 rows. And then that'll be a lot easier. And they'll probably be half double crochet if I'm being completely honest. And then I'm just going to sew them onto the bag. Even though I hate sewing, I would rather sew these onto the bag than do friggin' 70 rows of back and forth of 6 stitches. So that is what I'm doing right now. And then I need to make the starfish that goes on the side. I wanted to do a shell applique instead, but when I looked on Ravelry, how long is this? Is this long enough for what I want? I wanted to do a shell applique instead, but when I looked on Ravelry, the shell appliques were like you had to pay for them, and I feel like appliques are kind of hit and miss whenever you make them. Is that long enough? That feels? I might do maybe a few more and then I'll be done. I feel like appliques are hit or miss. Like it feels to me sometimes, not all. Definitely not all, but it feels to me definitely sometimes when you see the picture of the applique that they have made this is obviously on purpose because it's how you advertise things, but when you see the picture of the applique that they've made on Ravelry, it'll be like 3 pictures of like the same one applique that feels like they have very perfectly like fitted and stretched and blah, blah, blah. And like, if I don't see any other projects of this applique of like other people making it, or just like you've made the applique multiple times, I'm like, oh, you made one good one that looks good. And I am worried that I am not going to be able to replicate that. And mine's going to look like butt, and I don't want to spend my time and my money buying the pattern for an applique that looks like butt. So, because I wanted like the classic seashell. I also I saw one that looked pretty decent, but I didn't want it to be all one color because it's the classic seashell shape of like the round, and it's got the little like at the bottom. But I wanted to do 2-tone, like 2 colors of like the raised part of the seashell one color and then the back part of the seashell another color. But based on what the pattern looked like, I didn't think I was going to be able to do that. And having it all one color, like you can see just the like shell pattern here, you can't even see that there's two layers here because the white like bleaches it out. And I was worried that would happen if I tried that with another color with that shell up. Okay, you can talk now. I was rambling about crocheting things. Yes.
Well, aren't you so generous to me?
You are able now to talk on your stream.
Lovely. Well, thank you for letting me get all these games off our list. I know our stream is going long, but I have other games that I want to play, and I want to get these games off the list so that I can add more games. I feel like I can't play other games until we have already played these games. Okay, do you want to hear about, I have 2 more games left. Do you want to hear about the game I liked or the game I didn't like?
Let's hear about the game you didn't like.
Okay, so then I need to switch my screen.
I mean, if you had the screen up for the other one, you can do that. Ooh, while you're switching screens and getting things, I realized I had another bag that I didn't, I forgot to show because it's not completed. I have not sewn it together. But I've been looking at this pattern for a hot minute on Ravelry, and I was like, I just need to make this so that I can get it out of my fingers and then I can go do other things. So I saw the pattern for a circular granny square bag where you make just like 2 panels and sew them together or whatever. Oh, look at how cute that is. I still need to, so I've got that, and then this is the strap that I'm gonna.
Did you make that with a cake yarn, or did you switch a lot of different
I
colors?
just switched. You can see all of
That is
my. Actually, you can't really
so
see, but I
pretty.
carried the yarn all the way around. But yeah, I just switched the because I've got all those rainbow yarns from making the rainbow bags, and I was like, I need to get this out of my fingers so that it is so I'm done with
Mm,
this, and then I can
uh-huh.
go back to making those other bags. So I made
Mhm.
one. I just need to sew the strap. The
That
strap is a
is
loop.
so cool.
Isn't
That
it so
is
cute?
so cool. I can't wait till you finish that up because that is so cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get this done, and I need to finish sewing the mermaid bag that I'm working on now, and then I'm gonna try to get that one done for tomorrow. Because I've got.
So.
Oh, I never talked about it. You continue pulling this thing up. I'll stop talking whenever you put a hand up and tell me to stop putting words out of my mouth. I have another market tomorrow. I meant to mention this way at the top. I have another market tomorrow. That's what I was saying when I was talking about posting on Instagram. I have another market tomorrow. One of my sorority fraternity. I'm just gonna say sorority. I don't feel like explaining the whole thing. It's technically a fraternity. I'm not gonna explain all this. One of my SAI sisters, who is one of the few ones that I stay in contact with, they work with the YMCA. Like that is their job. They work at the YMCA, and the
Mhm.
YMCA is doing a they're doing a big, like, every month they're going to do a like flea market bazaar thing as a fundraiser, and the fee that we have to pay to be at the market is going to go to the YMCA scholarships so that kids can go to like summer camp and like after school programs. So and people can, like, the vendors, like, whatever money they make, they can donate extra if they would like to. And so I'm going to that tomorrow. This
Uh-huh.
is my first time at this. I think this might be the first one that they tried to do one last month, but it ended up getting canceled because of a bunch of stuff. But so this month, I believe, is the first one that they're doing, and I'm super excited to try it. I have been toying. This is my last, like, thought real quick. I've been toying back and forth with the idea of putting on an accent at the
Don't
market
do
for, like,
it.
no, not like just like my Scottish accent that I use for my D&D character as like part of my character whenever kids show up. But I don't know, because that's one of the ones that I can just like keep up without dropping for the most part. It would either be that or a southern accent, and that would feel like I'm making fun of people,
Yeah,
honestly.
don't do the southern one.
But I feel like I could maybe do the Scottish accent, and that would, like, add to my flair of character. I don't know if I'm going to do that tomorrow though. But anyway, continue. You get your game. That is what I want to talk about.
So this is a charity market.
Yeah. So we're going to sell, and whatever money we make, we are able to keep. They are charging, it's like $10 or $15 for people to be there. And though the money that the vendors get charged to be there is going to go to the scholarship. And then they will also, like, have a box available for if people, once we've made our
Is a
sales,
scholarship for what
for the
now?
YMCA.
Oh, for people that have memberships to the YMCA.
Yeah, it's a YMCA scholarship, and it's specifically for kids to go to summer camps and to go
Okay.
to after school programs that, like, kids who wouldn't
Okay,
normally
I
be able
get
to
you.
afford it. Yeah.
I get you now. I get you. Okay. So this game is and I wanted to mention sidebar that the links that I put down in these things, I'm going to put the link to the platform that we played it on. Okay. A lot of these are available on several different platforms, but I'm going to put the link to the platform we played it on. And by the way, Blush is on Android. You're
Ooh,
welcome.
ooh, I might play it. Ooh, I might play it.
It is free on Android. You're welcome.
I might play it just so I can hear that silly voice acting. I love it.
um okay, this game is Murder Mystery Machine.
And this is the one you didn't like.
I didn't like.
Okay.
I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it, but maybe I played it wrong. I gave it two different tries because I tried it like 6 months ago and couldn't get into it. And I said, well, I didn't really give it enough of a try. So let me try this again and give it a real, good, honest try. And I feel like I made it through the whole first case or
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Oh, this looks cool.
Let me put it back to the beginning so you can see it. It's part of it is part of Apple Arcade,
Okay.
which is where I played it. Um, it
Oh,
is.
this looks so cool. You didn't like
I think it's just that my brain. I had to think hard.
it? My name's Danny. I'm not serious about games. I need them to be pretty and easy. That is the conversation that we have had today.
I had to think hard. There's no. I mean, there were a couple things where okay, the basic thing of this game, which I don't see them. Here we go. Here we go. This part here. You
Oh,
see all these things.
your conspiracy theory board?
Exactly. That is the main thing. That's how you push the game forward. Okay. And that is the part that I had trouble with. This game is $20 on Steam.
Oh my goodness.
But like I said, it is available for is part of it says it's available on Xbox. I don't know if it's available on Game Pass though. Um
I haven't seen it on Game Pass. Maybe it'll come later.
I'm seeing Nintendo Switch, PlayStation
Ooh,
4, Xbox One, and Microsoft Windows on Steam.
if I
They
played
never
it anywhere, it'd be on
in all
Switch.
these platform things, they never say iOS. I have to look separately and then find out later that yes, the game is on iOS, which is annoying.
That's weird. Well, I mean, do they say Android too? I think they just don't. I feel
No,
like when they're
they say Android. There's several
really,
yeah, like when you search something on Google, they have a what's the
it'll be like
thing?
almost like a little article within Google, like in
Yeah,
the Google search results.
it'll be yeah on the right hand side of the Google search results. There'll be usually it'll be like the beginnings of the Wikipedia link or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, and it'll say platforms.
Mm-hmm.
It'll have a few pictures. It'll tell you what the rating is on Steam and whatever, and then it'll um, tell you what platforms. But under platforms, they always list Android and all the other ones, and they never list Apple. I have to look separately. I have to look separately in the main search results to find out if it's on Apple, or I have to go. I have to
What
go on my phone itself to find out is it on Apple.
what can I say? Android superior.
Whatever. But basically what it is the black detective you see there.
Mm-hmm.
She just got out of detective school.
Okay,
And so she's got
she's a
this job
rookie.
with the agency. They assign her to this weirdo guy who works in the basement.
Woo!
He's a lone wolf and he doesn't want a partner, and
Of
he's like
course.
of course that's a trope as common as your grandpa leaving you a farm in farming sims.
Yes,
He doesn't want a partner, and so let me see if I pause this.
that makes me want to play LA Noir again.
But you see, can you see this? Do I have this up on the screen? Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it. It's real tiny.
Okay, I don't know if it'll let me
Yeah, I don't know if you can full screen with just the pictures.
bigify it. But basically, because you really don't need to see it full screen, you can see that there's a bunch. Every time you do something in
Mm-hmm.
and as soon as I say that, you decide to move. Shut up. Um, every time you do something, like you go to the crime scene because he's like, okay, you got to prove yourself. So you go to the first crime scene,
Mm-hmm.
and there'll be little dots of things that you can click on, and then when you click on them, then it'll add something to your little murder board there,
Yeah.
and then to unlock further scenes or further clues, you have to connect some of these things.
Okay.
And if they do connect properly, then you get a solid line. If they're not connected properly, if those things don't mean anything to each other, then you get like a dotted line or whatever.
It's like playing PI.
And so you have to organize the evidence. You have some dialogue. It'll open up like maybe a dialogue with one of the people or whatever. And once you get enough evidence, you can say, okay, I think this person is a suspect. And
Mm-hmm.
the game will tell you, well, you haven't really connected enough of these pieces to accuse this person,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And then once you connect enough pieces, then it'll let you accuse him, and then it'll tell you, well, no, that's not right. Or yes, that's right. I had to get so many hints in this game because, and like, if you get a hint, then I don't know how it works in the paid for version, but I know in the Apple Arcade version, if you get a hint, then I mean, I'm sure it works the same way in the other versions too. What I'm thinking of is other games where you get a hint and you have to watch an ad or
Yeah.
something like that. There's nothing like that in Apple Arcade because, so I guess in the paid for version, I'm sure you don't have to watch ads either. But you get a hint and it knocks you down on your detective score.
Rude.
So, like, you may have, so if you ask for too many hints, then your detective score may be a C or whatever.
Rude.
I mean, I, I might try the game now that I'm talking about it. Maybe I'll try the game again. Maybe I just wasn't
Was in
in
the
the
right headspace.
right headspace to really think hard about a game.
Yeah, this sounds pretty fun. This sounds like the kind of game that Gilbert and I would play together because we love
Because
playing like
yeah,
puzzly mystery
this
kind
is
of
a
games.
game where I need some help. I'm used to playing. I think that's the other thing. I've been spoiled by playing games with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I don't normally
Same.
play I don't normally play games by myself. So trying to figure out all these hints by myself, I get I get bored real easy. I told you early on, back in the 80s, I bought a book, spent $20, bought a book to get through Mist. Okay, because I did not have this was before you could look up,
Yeah.
walkthroughs on the internet, and I did not have the patience to try to figure out these puzzles in Mist. I bought a book.
I mean, if you can find a way to stream it to me, I'll play this with you. This looks really interesting to
So
me.
I just could not. It was just. I mean, the times when I actually made a connection, I felt it was like, you get that satisfaction of, ooh, I solved the puzzle,
Mm-hmm.
So the times where I solved it and I didn't knock down my detective score, that was nice, but I don't know that I want to continue playing it. But the plus sides of it are it's not just a clicker. I feel like I'm doing something,
Yeah.
although I feel like I'm doing too much.
Mm.
And I like that the lead character is black with
Yes.
her big puffy,
Her
afro
afro.
thing that she's got going. So that's cool. And a lot of the characters in the game are black. So it's not just her being black.
Nice.
A lot of the characters in the game are black. Um so that makes it cool. Um it's not voiced, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
The dialogue writing is decent. So I mean, I wouldn't dissuade. I mean, it gets mixed reviews on Steam. I wouldn't try to dissuade anybody from playing this game.
Yeah, I'm
But
really interested. If you want to go halvesies with me, I'll
yeah,
pay $10 for you to get this on Steam so you can stream it on Discord and we'll play it together.
I'll think about it.
Because
I'll
I will
think
play this game. $10, absolutely.
I could put a follow on this and see if
If it
it's
goes
on
on sale.
sale because they have sales all the time on Steam. That's another thing that I have learned quickly. They have sales on Steam all the time. So buying a game full price is almost ridiculous on Steam because they have sales all the time. But that's the game that I wasn't crazy about. But now that I am talking about it, I might play it again
Mm.
because I think it's a kind of game that if I had somebody to play it with, and I don't know how many cases are available in the game. I made it through the first case and then I stopped
Mm-hmm.
because I thought we were going to talk about it that week and we didn't end up talking about it. But I don't know how many cases there are in this game.
I mean,
But
for $20, I hope there's a good bit.
yeah, really, I hope so. But we'll look at it and see.
Yeah.
It says 8 interconnected cases
Okay. How
is
long
what
was
we
the
see.
first case that you did?
It took me a couple days, but I'm slow. It might not take other people that long
Yeah, so if we're playing together, we could work our way through that.
because there was different sections
To each case, yeah, I
to
figured.
each case. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured it's like LA Noir where you got to talk to this person and talk to this person and go to
Yeah.
this house. And I think I really just want to play LA Noir again. I need to go find my disc.
I think LA Noir. Oh, that's right. You own LA Noir. I was about to say
Yes,
LA Noir is on sale for like $5 right now.
I own the Xbox disc. I just want another of that. That game was so good and so fun.
I
Two
play,
games that I really love that I feel like have not been recreated in a way that I enjoy them as much as the original. LA Noir and Saints Row the Third. And I currently own the new Saints Row. I spent the $65 for the new Saints Row game, and I've only played a little bit of it because I played it, and I should go play that today. Honestly, now that I'm saying I spent $60 on that, but I played the beginning of it, and it just didn't feel like it didn't have the same vibe as the one that I really like. It's like sort of, but it's I don't know. Some of the things have changed, and it's frustrating.
yeah, LA Noir is on sale for $5.99 to the end of the month, and I keep telling myself next time it goes on sale, I'm gonna buy it. Next time
Go
it goes
buy
on sale, I'm
it,
gonna buy it,
and then
and
you
I
own it.
and I haven't bought it. I haven't bought it.
On
No,
sale for $5. You said
$5.99.
if you don't buy that game right now, stop talking. I will vamp. Go buy that game right this instant. Five
not.
dollars.
I am not buying it right now. It's on sale till the 22nd. I got time.
See, you say that, and then next thing you know, it's gonna be the 23rd, and you're gonna be looking at Steam, and you're like, oh no.
But I mean, this is like the fourth time they put it on sale that so I've learned early on that I don't need to rush for a Steam sale because it'll come back on sale again. So I don't need to rush, but I might buy it this time. I'm in the mood to buy some games, so I don't know which ones I'm going to buy, but I'm in the mood to buy some. I might just rack up on all those hidden object games that I like to play while I'm watching TV with your father cuz like half the time those are on sale for like 59 cents.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that's like 100 hidden cats or
Yes.
or I one there's one called something like I hid some mushrooms or just weird names. It's
Yeah.
really all about the art and you spend $1.99.
I feel like those games are really just an artist wanted to make some pictures. They made some
Uh-huh.
pictures, and then they're like, "Can I turn this into a game?"
Exactly.
Like, I
Exactly.
don't feel like making a coloring book. Could I maybe make a game?
Exactly. That's exactly what those are.
Honestly, maybe I should do that. How do
And
you make a hidden object game?
I enjoy a lot of those. I enjoy a lot of them. And I have several of them on my list. And I keep saying one day I'm just going to do a clean sweep and just spend $10 and buy a whole bunch of them. Because a lot of times they're only like 59 cents.
Mhm. You should do it.
So one of these days I will. Okay, back to where I was
Where were you?
to the game that I enjoyed. This game is available on Android and iOS.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's considered in early access on Steam for $6.99. I don't know what the difference is going to be. I say try it on your mobile device and see if you
Ooh.
like it
What's
because
this called? Finding.
they've got it for $6.99. It's called Finding Hannah, and
Okay.
it is a combination of a virtual novel, a or visual novel they call it, a
Mm-hmm.
visual novel, a hidden object game, and a merge puzzle.
Ooh.
You know how the merge games in
Yeah.
like Love and Pies,
Yeah.
that kind of merge. So let me see if I can get this up here. Let me restart this all the way up here.
I like this art. It's cute.
Yeah, the art is very much you
It's like
know
the
how
modern lineless.
um I don't know what that means. My thought was if you take um construction paper and cut out different pieces and lay them on top of each other to make the picture. And
Lineless.
and then there's occasional pieces like for the nose where they actually drew it on,
Yeah,
but the rest of it,
lineless art just means that there's no like bold outline around. So like if you were to look right now, there's no outline on the hair, there's no outline on the sleeve, but they do lines like for details of things.
mm.
But there's no like outline around the whole thing.
Okay, so it's available for free on your mobile devices, but what you're getting on your mobile devices is like the beginning of the game.
Okay.
Okay, and then you can pay $1.99 to unlock it. And I was this close to unlocking that game.
I'm going to download it right now.
But I thought I would talk about it with you guys first before I unlock it. So it's a story game. It's got Hannah. She's kind of according to the description on Steam, she's having a midlife crisis. Okay. She's roughly 30, 35, I think.
I'm old enough to have a midlife crisis? Excuse me? No
Whatever.
one told me that I could have been in the middle of a crisis right now. I didn't realize I was able to start already.
Whatever. So this what I've got pulled up on the screen is the first scene. Stop, go back. Okay, so this is the first screen. It starts out in the club.
In the
Okay.
club.
I think she lives in Berlin or something.
Okay.
And so she goes to so you have a scene where you have to pick out objects in the club. And you have the dance music, which is kind of fun. And did this did this give you any of the audio? Let me see. Did I turn this
I didn't
up?
hear any audio. Oh,
Music.
okay.
That's the only reason I turned it on. No, I'm not giving you the club music. Okay. The club music is fun. I would say play it with the audio. There's not
Hmm.
any voice that I can remember, but there is the audio of the music in the club. Basically, she works for an advertising agency. She goes to the club to hang out with her friends. She has an ex-girlfriend who is still kind of her friend,
Ooh,
and
yes,
they
we love
kind of hang
lesbians.
out.
Okay.
Um and you have to do like the merge puzzle and the hidden object games to kind of unlock the next bit of the story.
Hmm.
So nothing new. I mean, it's like it's like games that we've played before, that mechanic. But um I don't know. I kind of like the way they do the hidden object thing where there's like four or five pictures you do and then you go back and you still have to get those four or five objects, but then they've added a sixth object, and then they've added a seventh object. And then if you have to go back to that same scene, they've moved one of the objects. So it's not in the
Okay.
same place where it was before. Or sometimes they'll do one where which I've seen this in other games, where they're just showing you the silhouette of the items and you have to go find them.
Okay.
You do occasionally have to zoom in to see an item,
But
but
it
I
lets you
haven't.
zoom.
Yeah, it lets you zoom. I haven't seen any items that are hidden behind anything else. Um,
That's one thing that like I always think that I like it in hidden object games, but then I'm playing a game and I'm like, where is this thing? Turns out
yeah,
it was under like a plant pot or something, and I'm
that you
like
have to
that.
move the plant pot to
Whoa.
the side or whatever. Yeah, it's annoying when it happens. Um,
It's like cute the first
and
time until you get stuck.
yeah, exactly. Um, I so in the first part that you play, it pretty much introduces you to her ex-girlfriend who they're still friends, so they still hang out and go to the club. She has this job as kind of like creative director or whatever at an ad agency. Um and in the first scene she's working for a real jerk.
Hmm.
As I mean that first scene with the guy that she has to, not her boss isn't really a jerk, but the client they have to work for. He
Mm-hmm.
did I'm not gonna say it, but he did something in that scene that's like, where's my $2 so I can find out what we do to this person?
Oh.
Cause he's annoying. And so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go ahead and spend the $2 and get the rest of the game. I might treat myself to that this weekend. I'll let you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I just downloaded it on my phone, so I'm gonna check it out because this feels like the kind of game that I can maybe wind down with when I'm getting ready to go to bed.
Yeah, you get enough in the opening. You get enough that you um what's the thing? You get enough that you feel like you got a taste of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because that's something that I have um I've been annoyed by in the past. Like I have Cook Serve Forever.
Mm-hmm.
That is a very pretty game, but it showed you none of the story part. All it showed you was how the gameplay works. So I what's the word I'm trying to say?
You're hesitant to buy it because you
Yeah,
don't know.
I'm hesitant to buy it because all I saw was a little bit of how the gameplay works.
Mm-hmm.
And the way the gameplay, at least for me, maybe I can't focus enough, but the way the gameplay worked for me was that I'm so focused on trying to hit the right buttons
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that I can't appreciate the art because I'm looking
Yes.
down at my keyboard. Okay, hit N, hit F, hit S, and even though I'm a touch typist, I still felt like I had to like focus just on
Yes.
the bottom part of the screen where it's telling me what to hit next.
Yeah, Cook Serve Delicious. I don't know about the Cook Serve Delicious Forever, but Cook Serve. I have Cook Serve Delicious 3 on my Xbox because I played Cook Serve Delicious 1. Love it so much. I love any kind of game where you're like doing something and it's absolute chaos. But I Cook Serve Delicious 1 and then Cook Serve Delicious 3. Those are games that I would not play if I did not have another person with me because they are playable by yourself. And I don't know how the new game is if they've changed it or whatever, but those games, they are playable by yourself, but there is so much chaos. And for me, part of the fun for especially Cook Serve Delicious 3 is working together and like communicating, like this needs to be cooked. We need to do this. Where are the churros? Blah blah blah. Did you drop the nuggets?
Uh-huh.
Like part of the fun of that is the communication and the chaos. Whereas playing by myself, I'm just like frantically pressing buttons and it's not like I don't get to sit here and laugh in the chaos with somebody else
Yeah.
as opposed to like just sitting here by myself being just kind of frustrated. Like I would, if I want to sit and be frustrated about a game, I would pick a different game. That is not it. And so I don't know. And even playing Cook Serve Delicious 3, like only when I have another person can I like every once in a while look at what this food looks like or look at who is up here ordering food or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, maybe if Cook Serve Forever goes on sale, I might get it, but
Mm-hmm.
because the art is really pretty. I love a food game that has pretty art.
Yeah.
But and I like that there's going to be a story, but I hope there's enough of a story to make it worth it.
Yeah, maybe get it and see if Isaac can play it with you. Like hook up a controller and the two of you, like you
Mhm.
could play on the keyboard, he plays on the thing. See if y'all play it together.
This guy on screen with the ascot,
Hmm. The worst.
he
He looks
seems
like he
he's
talks like this.
he seems the worst. The little bit that he did in the demo makes me want to buy the game so I can see what else we do to him because he's. Ugh. But anyway, so
Yeah, this looks fun. I can't wait to try it out.
I guess maybe we'll be talking about this next week. But
Yes.
yeah, that's all my games. I wanted to get them out because I have other games that I have thoughts on that I want to play and talk about, but I don't want to get so far ahead that I have 15 games
Yeah.
listed and then don't remember what it was like to play them. So
Same.
I wanted to talk about these we moved on to something else. So we have been talking for 3 hours,
Ooh,
and
and I'm gonna have to pick up
you have
Wayne in a little bit.
you have to go get your man. So I feel like I think next time we're going to be ending up talking about what we've been watching and listening to instead of games.
Yep.
So
We'll eventually catch up.
we'll eventually catch up. So so thank you to everyone who has shown up, everyone who is watching this after the live stream. We appreciate you.
If you
Um,
enjoyed the video, put I'm trying to think of an emoji. Um
put a
ooh,
German flag for Finding Hannah.
a German flag or a mermaid emoji for my mermaid
Yeah, a
festival
mermaid.
bag.
Put a mermaid because I bet the mermaid is easier to find.
Put a mermaid emoji.
Put a mermaid emoji for the mermaid um,
Mermaid
market.
festival. Hmm.
Mermaid market, yes. But yes, thank you for hanging. Um, Barring any kind of health emergency, we will be back here next week to
Yep.
talk about more stuff, to be your background noise as you get your chores done. Hopefully, we fulfilled that niche for you.
Hopefully we have less technical issues next week.
That's not going to happen.
This is crazy today.
Until one of us or both of us buys new computers, that's not going to happen. So, um, enjoy your weekend.
Like,
If you're watching this on
share,
weekend,
subscribe, smash the bell.
all of that stuff because, hopefully somebody's watching us.
Somebody out there.
Somebody out there. Anyway, have a good weekend, everyone. Bye.
Goodbye. I got compression gloves because my hands were hurting.